Shuffle, tomando chelas, chingando tacos, having some fun. Chicano Shuffle, all kinds of masa. Bernie's all nervous, give him a beer.
Or two.
Chicano Shuffle, Esteve's an asshole, just lost some fans. Oh well, tough shit.
Tough shit.
Chicano Shuffle, Ramon's el guapo, he tells good stories. Let's interrupt.
We will.
Chicano Shuffle, we love our fans. We hope you like this. If not, oh
well.
What's up?
Hi.
Pinche Chicano Shuffle.
Ay, güey. Who's that, güey?
Back, dude.
Yay. aplausos.
Oh,
But guess
man.
who's not here?
Yeah, pinche Ramon.
He's like, I can't face him.
He thought I was going to yell at him for fucking up the songs the last fucking 3 weeks.
I can't face him after I sung the songs all at Weeds.
Dude, I mean, it's been a crazy month, man. I was definitely happy to be back with it. I mean, I can't really talk about it much because fucking lawyers and shit, but yeah, I was hit by a drunk driver. I don't know what you guys told the people where.
Just that, exactly what you told us, güey. Like the two sentences.
So I was at a red light, fucking minding my own business, tapping the steering wheel, I'm sure. And fucking I looked left, dude, and this car was just coming. I want to say maybe like 65 miles an hour, dude. And he just fucking broadsided the driver's side, spun me around, dude, and fucking sent me 2 lanes over. And
like the rola spun me around.
you spin me. That's probably what I was listening to. Man. You spin me right. I was probably like in it. Oh yeah, Calero, you fucking. That's what you want.
Let me show you, eh?
But fucking, he was arrested for drunk driving, way. So it was a kind of a big deal, way. And what fucked me up the most was the concussion, way. It was just really hard to concentrate. It was like blurry, way. The lights were fucking me up, and I couldn't really like simple tasks, way, like little simple things, like fucking plugging my phone in, way, were like tedious, and like I would overthink it. So I knew something was going on, way.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can't fucking go to work, and I wouldn't be able to do this tampoco, way.
So you did take time off work? How long did you take
I took 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was hard for me because, I mean, I like to work. Like,
yeah.
It was hard to fucking just stay home. And trying to figure out new hobbies and shit. Like, fucking, should I start sewing? Should I learn how to braid hair? I don't know what the fuck to do.
Start fucking doing origami, way, folding paper.
Well, we're glad to see you again, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's been different. Your essence, you know, not being around.
I'm sure, dude, you
No,
pulled
sí
it
se extraña, sí se extraña. Cállese.
Well, we all heard the way Ramon was singing the song.
Yeah, Ramon no tenía
Sin
ningún...
ganas, güey.
He was missing a little step in his walk, you know.
A little step.
Well, he was, I think...
You know when the doggies walk all like confident, like, yeah.
He was missing a step.
He was missing something.
I think what he what he was missing is that he probably had a text ready to send, but he kept not sending it to me because he didn't want to bug me.
That's probably what it is. That is what it is.
He was like, fuck, I bet if you go into his phone and you look at his thread, there's a typed message that he never sent.
A bunch of drafts.
Yeah.
Oh, pobrecito.
But he did reach out one time. Like, he was going to Costco. He's like, hey, wait, do you need anything? Fucking, I got it. And I'm like, no, wait, don't worry about it, bro. I got it. So I do appreciate it.
You didn't bring you a pack of hot dogs? Or what?
I don't know what he was...
No, all hot dogs for Ramon y luego nomás sale una fucking water. Hey, I got your water.
Got your piece of water, bro.
Yeah, pero no, we're glad to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
You know, Ramon también no está aquí because también ahora, you know, he had a little bit of an emergency, but, you know.
We have a Ballesteros.
One of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been definitely different, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that the listeners get to have you back.
And I appreciate them too, like the ones that follow me on Instagram. Like they've been really helpful and stuff. And even like I ran into Jericho from Master Fellas. I ran randomly the day
when he left here.
The day he left here, fucking my chick's like, ¿sabes qué? Te voy a sacar. Let's go fucking eat something. So I'm like, fucking I'm down. So we went to go eat. And coming out of the fucking restaurant way, I see fucking this dude sitting with his wife. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, dude, I just came from the podcast. I was like, what?
It was probably like, este way pura finta, bro.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, he saw me
El
fucking...
pinche nato.
Tossing a football in the parking lot.
El nato.
Imagine, bro. Fuck. Yeah, it was just kind of random. Like, I didn't expect to see him, and he was there, and he's like, yeah, I just left the guys, and this and that. And I was like, yeah, bro, it's fucking... So está cabrón, because I saw him like a week after, and it was just something that had barely happened.
Yeah. And like I had mentioned to you, I know que muchas veces, like in friendships, like we wanted to reach out and just like, you know, pero yo también, I'm like, nice. We all process things differently, especially now as adults. Some of us need like alone time to deal with whatever is being triggered from the situation. Some of us do want to reach out and, you know, kind of not cling on in a bad way, pero, you know, esas amistades and that support system in that sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the whole, everybody has a love language. Everybody has a processing language too, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, we were all just here rooting for you and sending you best wishes. And, you know, I'm so glad that you came out better than what, you know, could have been, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to physical therapy 3 times a week, and it's hurting. Like, it's fucking really painful because my lower back still gives me a hard time. And it's just, for the confidence where I'm fucking limping, and it's fucking, I feel like an idiot. And but it's like, it's the stubbornness.
Yeah.
Even getting help and asking for help was really hard, but it's one of those things where you have to stop being fucking stubborn and just get the help that you need. Because sometimes it's okay that we don't have the solutions to our problems, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. We're always so rushed into that instant gratification, you know, solution to the problem. And it's like, no, some things are going to take time, you know?
Yeah.
But in this situation, not only physically were you impacted, but the things that might have arisen because of that, you know?
Yeah.
So with your physical therapy, ¿qué es lo que te están haciendo? Like, what is it? Like, stretching you out?
They stretch me out, and then it's the chiropractor. Like me dan unas tiradotas, güey. Y es un güey todo peludo. I'm sure he's Egyptian.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. Like one of those rugged Game of Thrones dudes.
Oh, plays rugby, güey. Oh, cricket.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he fucking... Yeah, me pone como un pinche pretzel, güey. Me da un pinche thrust, cabrón. And all I hear is... like, oh, shit. Y luego está mi señora that she, you know, I have my back tattooed. So parece diablo, güey, but he's not the devil.
El dragón.
Yeah, pero parece diablo, cabrón. Tiene horns y todo el pedo. Okay. So once a week, the lady fucking, I get a massage, and as soon as I walk in, she tells me,
se persina.
Ya está doña la señora, güey. So, you know, sometimes they're not that compassionate. She just tells me, take out my shirt. And so I laid down. The first time I got onto the fucking bed, I took out my shirt, and then she's fucking working on my back, and she started pretty chill, way. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, fuck that, this is cool. Y no sé si empezó a alegar con el güey de atrás. but all I felt was elbows in, where I felt all kind of shit. I was like, ay, güey, what the fuck's going on? Como que le da miedo el tattoo, güey. Ya está señora, güey. You know, she's probably
rub it off, bro.
She's probably Catholic from Mexico.
Have you noticed if she has a rosary with her? Cuando te dan,
you know what? I'm going to check next time. So what I started doing is I started giving her a tip. She has a little jar that's creased up enough that I know nobody's ever put money in there. So I'm like, you know what? Esta me la voy a ganar. I know she's judging me based on my tattoo, but I'm going to start every time I come, I'll bring her a tip. And then... And I make sure she sees me too, because it's like it's anonymous way. Yeah. Because I'm sure at the end of her shift, she's used to scooping nothing. Oh. So I'm like,
ponle un diablito a tu pelo, güey.
Le pongo unos cuernitos al pinche.
Por eso está enojada.
Yeah, I know. So I know she doesn't get tips, Nola, because the fucking envelope está como que acaba de salir de la caja.
Yeah.
like,
it's crispy.
It's crispy. There's no fucking like, oh, it's the way try to put something in there. So I make sure as soon as I walk into the room that I go out of my way to let her see me get out of money out of my wallet.
Make some noise.
Oh, you know what you should do? Walk out and then come back. Se me olvidó. Yeah. Yeah, that way you don't have to be too sneaky, like, ya quiero que me vean. No, you go out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, oye, se me olvidó. Gracias.
Yeah.
But she'll know it's you.
Dude, I wanna ask her what part of Mexico she's from, because her fucking hands, bro, like, no mames, way.
Is she short?
She's short, but fucking strong, dude. Like, she does a number on me, and I'm like, ay, way. I don't wanna like like let her know that it's hurting, but there's been times where she's doing my lower back and my leg just starts twitching and I feel like an idiot. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Te tocó el nervio.
Ay, lower back, he says.
Esteban.
That's pretty low.
Do you really need therapy 3 times a week, Esteban?
Hey, doctor's orders.
Oye, y esas manos, not to talk shit, pero esas manos son de mujer de rancho que lavaba en las
Oh,
piedras,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure, dude.
Like-
Something. No,
Esa
Yeah.
ropa queda limpiecita, güey.
Yeah.
Piecita o molía el maíz para las tortillas.
And I do
Oh,
feel
shit.
bad for her, though. Like, I feel bad for, like, I mean, I think about her, like, man, you're doing this for 8 hours. Like, you must come home. And I don't know if she has a traditional marriage, but I overthink things like this. Like, llega a la casa and does she still have to clean? Do all this shit? Like, what kind of dude is she with? Like, what are the chances that the guy that she's married to, or if she's single, like, I just start making up all these stories, like, thinking about her, like, do you go
Her
home
life.
and you still have to cook after all this fucking shit?
2 kids,
Yeah.
sit down with them maybe.
Y como la economy, ya ves que todo está bien
Yeah.
caro. Yeah, man, shit's expensive, dude.
Yep, everything is. Even a 99-cent store.
Dude, the
going up.
other day, my dad's like, hey, because that's been really hard too, is like taking care of my dad and having to like just schedule that in and
Yeah, the routine you had with him.
yeah, it's hard. And then sometimes it's like I was like a little antisocial because I wasn't really feeling it, and then my lower back was hurting, and so I couldn't really take him to a lot of places, and so I took him to the 99-cent store because quería rastrillos. I bought him fucking rastrillos at Northgate. Y que no, esos no son, esos son de vieja, me dice. And I was like, what do you mean son de vieja? Nah, es que yo quiero the 6. Quería the 6-blade ones.
They have the 6-blade ones at 99-cent store?
That's what he said. So,
Okay.
so the stubborn, el güey le digo, ¿sabes qué? Today's the day. Ahora sí te voy a llevar la pinche 99 para que veas, cabrón, que no hay nada ahí that you need.
Yeah.
And so we went to the 99-cent store, güey, and sacó unos pinches rastrillos that were 4-blade. And I could tell he was pissed because no había lo que quería. Este güey pagó, like, o yo pagué, pues, pero este güey pagó $6 for a pack, nomás por el orgullo to fucking grab something at that store to show me that they have what he wants.
Yeah.
And so I fucking $6, and I'm like, este güey was $6, no mames.
And it's those old school disposable ones? Or
Yeah.
No, it's not the old school
Oh.
disposable ones. It's the little fancier ones. Pero the next time that I picked them up, estaba todo rasuradote, and I was like, oh, so they worked on you. I was like, yeah, see. And then I took them to Northgate, and I made sure to show them because they're cheaper here at Northgate.
Yeah. Damn. Oh, yeah. Maybe they are 6, but he cuts them up and he glues them together and makes a 6 one.
He puts 2 together.
3 of them. Si son 2. Because la 99-cent store has like, they don't have the 5-blade ones.
They
Or 6.
Well, they were $5, where and I was like, fuck, the 99 store has $5 items now.
Well, ¿no ves en los memes en the internet, en las redes sociales, que el pinche Arizona iced tea, the big cans, antes 99 cents.
They're
Yeah.
still 99 cents.
They're 129.
No, those cans that keep showing are from Canada.
Oh, they're from Canada? Well, they
pinche
charge you
people te están
129.
transeando.
129
That's a
CAD.
scam, bro.
Bastards.
You can't believe the internet, no?
No, because the guy came out
I
and
know, right? I'm like, I didn't do my research.
the guy came out, the owner guy, and said, fuck, no le vamos a subir ni madre.
Good.
And then people started, como te, mira,
Yeah.
si lo he subido. And then everybody, if you look in the comments, fucking, you'll see the comments pop up, no mames, way, that's a Canadian can.
See,
And you could tell the can's a little different, the little label's like a different colorway.
Canada has weird shit where they had fucking ketchup chips. Like they had,
Ketchup chips.
yeah, like ketchup flavored chips. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Well, you know what? When we were growing up, we were poor. I would dip
¿Le
my...
ponías ketchup?
Yeah, I wanted to pretend it was fries.
Oh,
so it was
shit.
on the plain chips, you know?
Have you seen the chips we make, way? Ketchup
poor.
is not surprising.
Yeah, but it was...
Vas al parque y te hacen unas pinche chips bien armadas, güey.
Yeah, pues esos están chingonas, güey.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, but I'm saying we add shit, güey.
people put a ketchup on a lot of stuff. I'm just
Yeah.
like, we're like, wow.
Yeah.
On a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I saw, alguien me mandó un TikTok de una señora haciéndole lonche. Estaba presumiendo que le hace lonche al esposo. No, this is my husband's favorite.
Those videos, eh?
Y era que Mexican food, quick Mexican, que Mexican this. So la señora, she thought she was doing something good. And she looked like first generation, like us.
Yeah.
Toda pachucona.
Yeah?
Y dice, okay, I'm making my husband lonche. So le hace un pinche burro, güey. And it had weenie, fucking shredded cheese, beans, I mean, I guess Mexican, pero donde la cagó, and then what the comment section latched on, es que le echó ketchup.
Oh.
And then they were like, Mexican? This ain't Mexican food. And so it backfired on her way. Like I thought she probably thought, I'm a good wife and all this shit. And the comments were like, ketchup? What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
She could be
fucked
doing
up.
everything right. Ketchup.
Yeah, there's a pinche...
Bomb ass burrito, se despertó a las 3 de la
Pinche
mañana
internet.
para hacerle el breakfast
Pobre
a
la-
los pinche
pobre-
viejo que he's probably cheating on her.
Pobre mujeres nunca
I know,
cambian.
or throwing the lunch away and actually buying in the lonchera and stuff,
Hey,
Like,
pero
Then
that's...
she has to go give El Diablo
Yeah.
a fucking massage.
oh, amazing.
But I
Ketchup.
ended up
The
on
fuck?
Lonche TikTok after that way. It's,
Oh, shit.
It's a bunch of TikToks of las mujeres that
Doing
are stay at
lunches?
home. Yeah, doing lunches. I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
and based on the lunch, I'm like, este güey no hace nada, güey. Because fucking the lunch, güey, pinche burrote, like shit that's gonna make you tired, güey. I'm like, this guy for sure is fucking lazy at work.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah, no, you could tell, güey.
Eh,
He's
Eso sí,
yeah, it's time to be in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Eso sí, I saw some dude, I don't know how, fuck, I don't know de dónde lo conozco, güey, pero he put a fucking post que en mi día fucking comíamos el fucking, el pinche, the bologna fucking on the pan, güey.
Oh, when it used to
the
become like a
fucking
dome?
heat it up and the weenies con huevos and like shit like that, and we fucking tomamos from the hose y no sé qué pedo. I was like, what do you mean we used to, güey? I still do
Yeah. Still.
I still do all that. So I was like, what the fuck? And every time I see people refer to it, I don't know, are we ashamed that we do that? Because everybody always refers to it like, oh, when I was growing up. And I'm like, bro, I just made huevos con fucking weenie the other day.
Dude,
güey.
huevos con weenies are bomb, güey. I used to love those burritos de huevos con weenie, güey. Es just, le cambia el norte a la gente,
I
güey.
know, güey. All of a sudden, there's fucking...
Like,
All of
bitch,
a sudden we have a job and we're too
bitch,
good.
now you want fucking Dasani water, güey? No sos mamón, güey. We used to drink from the fucking...
Yeah.
From la manguera,
All of a
güey.
sudden we're too good to take tortas to the theme parks.
I know, what the fuck?
No, people still do. I didn't know though that you could still do that. Porque ya ves que unos theme parks, they
Well,
get a
they
little bit,
do it. I think they do it on purpose, no? Like,
they get picky. I don't know. Pero por un tiempo no dejaban que llevaras tu propia comida.
Pero sabes que that brings back a memory of feeling like ashamed of that. Like, why is that? Where like I don't remember anybody ever like telling me like or making fun of me for eating home food, but when we would go places either to the racetrack or messes, like the rare times that we even went to Disneyland, siempre hacíamos lonche. And for some reason as a kid, I always felt like embarrassed to eat
Like
that
you have
food.
to hide that you're eating food.
Yeah,
bro.
like I felt like insecure. Like, wait, we
But
can't.
you're a kid, güey, and you get la hamburguesa like everybody else, güey,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then your parents
don't know
are
any
very
better.
good at reminding us that we're poor and we're lucky enough that they afforded a ticket.
But, I mean, even, yeah.
I know fucking parents
So
always
it's just
using
like,
psychological bullshit on us.
Thanks for reminding us that we're very broke. But at the end of the day, it's like, our food was kind of stupid. But it's that sense of like, like your own parents do that. Like, somos pobres. No van a pedir nada ya porque todo está caro. But now I get it. Because I'll go to theme parks. I'm like, I'm going to fucking buy this
Oh, but theme parks now, well, I mean,
$30 burger.
Dude, when we went to the Fluffy show with con el Alfred at Dodger Stadium, where fucking Ramon, tres micheladas, you pay $80
yeah.
What?
for 3 micheladas, dude. I was like, wow,
¿Qué
dude.
tenían miedo de los fucking players? Or
I think so,
del pinche Fluffy or what?
I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't
think
know,
that-
wait,
it's
but
expensive.
80
$80
$80 for 3 chelas?
It's expensive.
And it's
güey.
not even to say que uno is cheap or not. Because, if you work hard, treat yourself and everything. But 80 fucking bucks for 3 micheladas?
It's the pinche, just
Yeah.
I think the just like the beer along way, it's like fucking $16-18, güey.
hell
Está cabrón, güey.
That's what people, y por eso we sneak in our fucking drinks and food.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure.
What-
I have my tricks for sneaking in stuff.
I've never thought about it, but like relative up to like when we're young, way, I don't know, like if the difference is the same, or if it's
adjusted.
increased,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know. Like in Dodger Stadium, pues I don't remember when I was a kid going, ¿cuánto costaba el hot dog or something, no? Or ¿cuánto está la chela then, I didn't drink chela, so I don't know, but I feel like it's more expensive. It's been that way fucking for a while.
Yeah, en la aguas también, güey, se pasan, like,
Te la cobran casi igual que la cerveza, güey.
what is this, like a liter?
Esta te cobran
like
que-
fucking esta madre is like $9 $10 güey,
No.
for fucking water.
15.
Probably,
Yeah.
because these are a little thicker.
No, and then
Yeah.
they have those I don't know if Dodger Stadium, but you go to a theme park or anywhere, they have like those odd sizes, way. Like it looks like the one from the store.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like 16
yeah.
ounces.
Yeah.
But somehow at the park it's 14.5.
Oh yeah.
No shit.
Like
All
they
of us,
jacked
like,
you.
what?
And then the bag of chips is $1.29. Wait, you bought a whole box of these at Costco? It's the small ones that we used to get for $0.25. Remember?
Yeah.
I was pissed when it went from $0.25 to 50 cents because I remember the liquor store by my house had like shelves of fucking little bags of chips.
Yeah.
You throw that out as 25 cents, and then they became 50 cents, and I was like, wait, what?
Oh
the
no,
fuck?
they're $1, or even just a bag of chips like this. That I got like $2, but the fucking bag only has this much.
Tiene un
chips.
chingo de aire.
Puro aire, güey.
Yeah.
Puro aire. Estás tragando aire. That's why we're all so gassy.
What
Because
the
these
fuck?
fucking bags of chips
let's,
are just air.
let's blame the air. let's blame the gap in the fucking
The hell?
bag as why
I
we're so
want my
gassy.
chips. I don't want air.
Yeah,
Pero-
let's blame that.
Yeah, I was watching this. A veces pongo el YouTube, when I'm working, just to have some background noise or black noise or come on, brown noise, white noise.
Black
And there
noise.
was this.
Depends what you're watching, I guess.
Black noise is otro pedo.
There was
It's like
this.
you're watching BET on YouTube.
That's what it's black noise. Like ahora.
Pero there was this.
That makes sense, man. Yeah.
There was this video of TikTok videos all composed into one long video. But the question was like, tell me something that rich people do that when poor people do it is not considered classy or whatever. Pero por ejemplo, going to thrift shops. People that are poor go to thrift shops. And it's considered trashy. But when someone rich does it or someone in the does thrift shopping, it's like, oh, it's bougie.
Yeah,
you know?
it's bougie because we're going to Coachella. We
Yeah.
gotta buy an outfit.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that I would
Yeah.
be embarrassed as a kid to go to thrift stores. Like
Yeah.
my parents would take me to thrift
Or
stores.
las yard sales.
Yard sales también, yeah.
Or
Swap
garage
meet, güey.
sales, yeah.
Swap meet, yeah.
That time was like right now Didi's, which is like those discount
Yeah,
stores.
como las fallas paredes.
Yeah. Or Payless. Remember Payless?
Paredes, yeah.
Payless. Kmart.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, now I'm like, I get it. I'm cheap. Yeah.
And it sucks because I catch myself not making my parents feel bad that they gave us because they did what they could. And
Yeah.
I feel kind of like a douchebag fucking telling somebody like in front of my parents like, oh, I never really had anything growing up. It's like, I think that's kind of douchey to say that. Like,
Yeah.
In front of
especially
your parents, está cabrón.
especially around your parents. But even then you think like, well, if it sucks to say it in front of them, then maybe I shouldn't say that when they're not
Yeah.
there because they try, way. Like, I would feel bad if my kid became an adult and was like, I didn't have shit growing up. I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? You had fucking food. You had,
Shelter.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The essentials were always there.
Yeah. Por eso también I think last year we were talking about how just like how privileged we are nowadays, the simple things that like we think, oh, it's just for others it's like, whoa, that's a privilege,
Yeah.
Y yeah, yo no le reclamo a mis parents nada. I already dealt with that shit.
Yeah.
I already had my duke down with them. Like, you know what, the shit you did and the shit you said, this is what it did to me. Y ya, pero
That's an important conversation.
Yeah. I think with my mom, when my mom sí la tuve and, whatever. Pero mi dad es más necio, so I'm like, I'm not going to.
Still right now or yeah?
Oh,
no?
yeah. No, my dad todavía es necio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were talking shit about him last time.
The last 3 episodes.
That sucks.
But that's crazy. Se largó a Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mi mom lo mandó para allá because, she doesn't want him here for the fireworks for the 4th of July because he gets, like, it does something to him. He gets really aggravated.
It just sucks because like our parents don't realize what we're going through. Like
Yeah.
they're not supportive really. Like we talked a little bit about the abortion shit that's happening.
Yeah.
Their generation, I mean, they're not supportive in what we're going through as far as like they still have their outdated beliefs and stuff
yeah.
like that. And like I'm sure it's different for women like to deal with their parents with the issues that are happening than for a male. But as from the outside I see in, and it's like, wait, you guys should be more supportive of your daughters if they're telling you that this is what's bugging them and this is what's taking from them. Like, why are you guys so fucking brainwashed? Like, be there for your kids still. Like, the same way they expect for us to be there for them. Like, I feel like I don't know if they could get open-minded about shit like that. I feel like it's a lost cause. But then I think if we can't convince our parents, what makes us think we can convince a stranger that thinks like that?
And the thing is too that it's just a reality that okay, our parents have these beliefs that are just maybe like really like come on, go with the flow. But there's people our age that feel that way and think that way, and that's the thing. Is like fuck, like if we're looking for a progression and just everybody being in one accord of just everybody love everybody, it's a long time coming before we get to it. A long time coming. It's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
Pero it does suck because, you know, all these changes that are going, por lo que dice ahorita, like, especially in the daughter aspect, like, one of the topics that I've discussed or had conversations with other girls or just peers, female peers, is that, you know, growing up Latina, we're always told what not to do in the dating world. Don't get pregnant. Don't do this. Don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. But then when we do start dating, they don't teach us what to look for. Like, nobody told us, look, at least my experience with my dad was like, I don't remember my dad telling me too much about what to look out with guys. Nomás, like, ten cuidado, you know? Be smart. That was like
check the papels on the fucking terrenos. Check the paperwork.
Que no, you know, let's all that. My mom was more like now that I think about it, the way that she would tell me things is very machista-ish. You know, kind of sexist. It was sexist. And I'm like, the fuck? Now when I have those
Can you give an example without
yeah,
really...
but him, no, for sure. Like, and I hate this comparison, pero growing up, it was like, you know, los hombres se enseñan a manejar en carros usados. Meaning, you know, men learn about sex with sleeping with women, you know, with used women. So I remember...
That's a crazy metaphor. I literally thought...
fucked up metaphor.
I literally thought we're talking about used cars.
I know.
Yeah, I learned on a used car.
It took me a little bit to get that one
sense.
too.
Like, I don't want to crash a fucking nice car.
my parents
that took a 90 degree when I processed.
That was a 180 for
the
sure.
sexist aspect of that comparison, that growing up, I would hear that stuff and it was like, you know, because there's such an importance of being pure and whatever in the Latino culture. But I remember one time when I was in my 20s, she's like reminding me of this. And I told her, you know what, le dije, pues yo también quiero enseñarme a manejar. I want to learn how to drive too then.
So you knew you were using her.
Yeah, I was using her own shit.
She knew exactly what you were saying?
Yeah, she knew. And then she's like, ay, no seas grosera. And I'm like, I told her, well, first of all, you're comparing an object with me.
Yeah.
Your daughter. You're objectifying me the way every other man has, or the society, or whatever it is, you know? Entonces, esas cosas, I grew up hearing them. También I remember when we were talking one time about dating shorter men. Because in my, when I was growing up, you know how tios are. Everybody makes a comment about some shit that doesn't look okay for them.
Yeah.
But I would remember, like, there was some cousins that I would have that were taller and their significant others were shorter. Y siempre los comentarios. And it was like, why? And it was always innuendo.
Yeah.
Comments that were not necessary. Entonces, you know, what I'm saying is that a lot of times as females, we're told what not to do. No salgas con tu domingo 7, blah, 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 blah. We're not allowed to date and explore, but by the age of 25, they want us to be married.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's in fucking the U.S. Like in Mexico, it's even younger. I mean, the quinceañeras and all that shit.
Yes. So it's a lot of crazy shit like that. Que yo también, I'm like, you know, I can't change my parents' views or thoughts. I just have to, what I can do is control how I react, you know?
But you think, like, as a woman, like a Latina woman, like, obviously your perspective is different than mine in society. Do you think it's important for you guys to have that freedom from your parents? Like, you know, a lot of people, like, you know, when Trump was president and all this shit, like, everybody would always focus on him, what he was saying as an older man that's very outdated, and his views are a little controversial, or maybe a lot to some people. But in their home, their dad's the same way. Like, I always thought, like, shouldn't it be liberating to, like, fix your household first and then go and fucking see how the world treats you? Because if you're upset that there's machismo and stuff like that, but you let your dad be that and not teach them at your home, change your house structure, have that rite of passage as a woman to stand up to your parents. Yeah. Isn't it important?
It is, pero también at the same time, Esteban, think about it, de que culture plays such a big role, because, por ejemplo, I moved out of my parents at 31 because part of it was like a sense of guilt that, like, oh my God, like if they need help, who are they going to be able to depend on, blah, 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 blah. So it's that sense of, like, that responsibility, like, as the only daughter. Second, it was like, growing up, uno de mujer, we're told, oh, you know, te sales de la casa de tus parents cuando estés casada, te sales de blanco de aquí, you know? And so all these ideas that we grew up, all these thoughts and, you know, ideas that we grew up being fed. So if you grew up with that for like 25, 30 years, for that person, for that female to change those ideas and to kind of stand up to her parents, it's almost a sense of guilt too, like being a bad daughter, being like, oh my God, like, why did I do that? Hay unas que sí, you know, there's some people, not just women, but people in general that they realize, shit, my parents were toxic. I want nothing to do with them. You know,
And
realizing that some of our parents, the things that they did to us is unacceptable, whatever it is. Me, yo no me quería salir because it was like I felt like, fuck, my mom's still needs me. Like, my mom still needs me around to help her with my little brother, blah, 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 blah. And when I told her, she's like, no, don't feel guilty. Because my thing was, I need to learn how to be self-sufficient and independent because my parents are not going to be around forever. I'm not married. I'm not, you know, settling down. And honestly, I'm like, I need to learn to be self-sufficient and just learn to be on my own, you know, because that way anything else that comes is just an added bonus. Pero it's that sense of guilt and just también being in a space where it's like just others contributing to that shit. The family, you know, hay unas familias que we didn't grow with too much family, like huge because they were in Mexico, whatever.
Yeah.
Pero ya ves, hay las tías that make comments here and there and it's just, I don't know. But I think a lot of it is just that sense of guilt and a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
Pero I don't know, and I was thinking about this the other day, is it culture? Is it unconscious that there's always that one sibling in the family that ends up taking the parental role over the parents?
Well, that's me in my
That's
family.
me, yeah.
I mean, well, everything you're saying about feeling guilty, I'm there. Like, I've talked about it before in the podcast where I feel like I'm putting my life on hold. I want to go to Europe and live for fucking 6 months and do shit like that and go fucking play music in another city. But I feel like the same pressures that you have as a Latina, I have as a Latino male, that I'm the oldest. Somehow I feel this pressure to hold this family together and not ask my sisters for help with my parents. And I feel like I took all the burden upon myself.
Do you feel that one of the contributing factors to those roles is because we're not married and we don't have kids?
I think our siblings or my situation, my siblings that are married and have kids, I think they feel like because I don't want to have kids that somehow I have the time and my life is not structured in a way like they're already kind of settled and I'm building stuff that's bigger than what anybody in our family has built, but I have to go through it in silence and by myself, literally. Like I don't have support from my family when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I feel that it's them saying, this guy really doesn't have much. I mean, he's not doing this. He's not. So he has time. In reality, I don't. In reality, I have more things than they even realize, more ambitions than they even realize, more plans than they even realize. And it's obviously my responsibility to let them know, like, hey, I mean, I need help or this and that.
Yeah.
But as a stubborn fucking dude también, and as culture probably put it in my head, I have to do everything that's right to keep my family afloat and whatever they need.
Yeah.
Whether it be me working overtime to fucking pay my dad's rent or pay his groceries, I feel responsible, and it's good that we're having these conversations because a lot of times, you know, we don't hear the perspective of the pressures that we get put también in society, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. It's like I feel like I don't have kids.
Yeah.
I'm not married, and I feel like somehow the burden of this family is on me.
Yeah, but because it's that whole idea, like, you have time, but it's like, no, you
don't have time.
You do and you don't, and whatever time you do have, it should be for self growth. You know, last time I remember I brought up that, you know, now in the 40 stage, people are taking care of themselves, we're taking care of ourselves, and you know that's the thing. I feel I've seen that consensus again. Once we enter our 40s, it's about health and taking care of ourselves. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because we partied too much. Now we're entering the new phase of our life, We're considered geriatric soon,
Right, güey.
Hey, pues sí. Pero that's what we're trying to get ready for.
We're middle aged.
I don't know
We're
about
middle aged.
soon,
We're,
güey, right?
I'm on the countdown for my midlife crisis,
That countdown.
Pero, but that for you to share that stuff, that's something that a lot of guys don't talk about. Just those responsibilities that are given to you because you maybe are the oldest male or you're the only male in the family.
No.
And in our cultures, in our Latino cultures, Mexican in my case, the oldest guy or the only guy in the home is the one that takes the man role.
Yeah.
And that's a lot because growing up, we believed that the man role is to work hard, financially take care of the family, and protect them.
Yeah.
So when you're a young guy, nobody's taught you all that stuff, and it's just expected out of you. It's like,
and that goes back to what you're saying is you're like, my parents, they didn't really teach me what kind of guy I should go out with and this and that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we're asking a lot about from our parents, considering that a lot of the women in those age, they're terrible at picking men. They picked the wrong. They picked the wrong kind of guy to go out with. Yeah. But there was no options really.
Yeah.
And so you don't. They don't have the best. I wouldn't take. Now looking back as a child, as an adult, looking back in, I'm glad I didn't get advice from my mom and my parents about shit. Because no, seriously, like we have to.
They didn't make the best choices.
There's a transition in life, Fernie, that as men and women, we have to realize that our parents don't really know shit about shit, especially how to navigate through a modern society like we're going through.
That makes sense.
That we're experiencing stuff that our parents have no idea that we're thinking,
and they don't understand it.
They don't understand it. So a kid growing up right now, 17, I don't know. Like their parents we
don't understand it. We talk shit about it all the time. Yeah.
But wait, men and females, we make terrible choices in people that we did, and then we blame the other gender as a whole that they're fucked, and it's like we make really bad choices, and so these kids are gonna have advice from men and women that are 25, 30 right now, which aren't making the best choice in life. They're not doing the best things that they should, and so it's not.
Y luego déjate de eso. What you were saying too, like our parents, like in this case, I'm gonna say my mom. Porque dije, a lot of things that I grew up hearing about the dating world and just being a female and everything came from my mom. But then like, this bitch got married at 19.
Yeah.
She was a fucking baby. Yeah. I mean, I say bitch con cariño because I love my mom.
Yeah, I talk to my dad like that too.
Yeah, pero en esos tiempos, even now, I guess. Pero
es lo que digo que...
Pero that was normal.
That's what I'm saying.
So you can't...
It was normal.
You can't
so
blame
she
her
got,
for that way.
No, but she got married young. So it's like, yeah, she knew about life. Up
you don't
until
know about
19.
Life at 18, 19.
She knew about life till she was 19, and then at 20 she became a parent and a wife, and it's like your whole role about just being a single person changed. So all you
she was never really, if you think about it, she was never really a single adult.
But Fernie, that goes back thousands of years, marrying young because you're not going to have a long life, so you have to marry young, have kids because you're going to die 30 or 40.
Yeah, like you said, the quinceañera, like the quinceañera was literally to parade you that you're ready.
Por eso but then he's saying our parents didn't know shit. It's like, yeah, because they were kids when they got married.
Yeah.
They never developed their, frontal lobes the way they should have. And these are the parents that now have left us with all this damage.
Well, también like to go back a little bit, like about the if you can't convince your parents, but I think that one's even harder. With that standard is kind of hard, because like when you como like Noelia says, like she le razonga a su dad or whatever, but the dad doesn't change his mind, pues.
No.
He still sticks to his guns. He just says, esta cabrona no me tiene respeto.
Yeah.
Our parents, and I think to an extent even like family, even close friends sometimes, you tell them things and they take it as an attack way, like you're attacking me, and they it's like that conversation shut down. They're not going to change their mind because now you're attacking me. And sometimes it takes something on the outside, like an external thing or another person, to point something out that all of a sudden they go, oh shit, tienes razón. Although you might have been telling them for fucking 15 years. But because they're your parent, they take it as my fucking my sibling, my
child.
My child is fucking me está rezongando, is fucking talking back to me. So they don't take it as like you're just trying to have a conversation and trying to explain to them, han cambiado el mundo. Or like you're saying, like maybe you made bad choices, I'm trying to make better ones.
Yeah.
But they don't take it that way.
No.
But they'll tell you everything you need to know by their reaction. Because if somebody's triggered by what you're saying, there's a slight truth to that. That's why they're upset.
Oh, yeah.
So it's good intel to gather on your parents, though, where like you have these hard conversations, and then if you're aware of the situation and what's happening, then you're able to fucking catalog. Okay, my mom is like that. She's like that. She's not gonna tell me, but okay, I'm gonna make an assumption, but I'm going to treat her with different gloves because this is the kind of people that raised me.
Yeah.
And so I think it's super important way to liberate yourself from your fucking parents is change way, because honestly, like the way we're talking about that you felt that you were doing it for your mom and being there for they have us on this chain that they like. They don't want us to liberate ourselves from them, because they want to at all times have a sight of what we're doing in life. They still think that if we're 40 in our 40s, that they can still tell you what you need to do, and it's like, no, wait. What you're thinking got you where you're at.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get somewhere else, lady.
Yeah,
like I get it, but I'm trying to get somewhere else.
Yeah, and the thing is too, like with my mom, I don't want it to sound like my mom was like, no te largues, no te vayas, no me dejes. It's just that, the habits and the little subtle stuff that you pick up on, the nonverbal cues that you pick up on growing up, where it lets you know, like, they need me and I don't feel comfortable leaving, Y luego también, my parents are not those, my dad has some weird ideas, but I'm like, a la chingada, viejito. You're crazy, but I still love you, No. Pero, in some families, the parents, they're like, no, tú te quedas aquí a cuidarnos. Now it's your turn to take care of us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Thankfully, my mom isn't like that. My dad tampoco too much. But that's why there's also that sense of guilt, because, we've been given already the role of being a caregiver since we're children.
Shit, we were fucking. Well, I remember going to fucking la immigration, fucking the consul or whatever the fuck, being an interpreter at 8-9.
Yeah.
Having to look over legal documents. I'm like, wait, I'm a kid. Wait, like, I don't. Where am
that's
I?
why they made bad choices.
I was their legal defense.
Yeah. But I think a lot of that is pressure we put on ourselves. Pues that guilt you're saying.
100%.
Like you had that guilt for
a long time.
For a long time, and then your mom's like, well, no, you don't need to be guilty.
100%.
Dale.
Yeah.
So we put it on ourselves, because I did the same thing where cuando no me quería ir, in my head too was like, oh no, what's gonna happen with this, and this. And I left and it was fine.
Yeah.
So like it was, it's all in our, not all, but most of the time.
My mom still throws out, hey, we should buy a house here. And I'm like, ooh.
There's a lot of we.
Ooh, we? I don't know about that, Mom.
Didn't we try this?
So I'm gonna have to break her heart at some point, because I can't have my family's
you can't have
pressure on my shoulder forever way, and it's starting it's hard way, because it's hard to just say, sabes que, am I being selfish? But at this point,
right now when you were doing this gesture of tapping your shoulders, it reminded me of when we went to Peru. Urpi made a comment to me that changed a lot of that helped me to move out, because we were having our little moments with our hostess. She was amazing. She was amazing. And she rubbed our feet, y luego ya estamos acostándonos, and she tells me, as soon as she's done rubbing my feet, she tells me, tú estás cargando una cruz que no te pertenece. Exactly.
She was tough. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps.
I'll say it in English. She told me, you're carrying a cross that doesn't belong to you.
I mean, because you guys always bring, I wasn't there way, so I'm just asking questions from the outside. Pero do you think that kind of goes back to like what I was saying earlier? Que maybe someone else had told you this, but they're too close to you that you're like, tú que sabes de mi pinche.
Maybe.
You don't know what I deal with that home type of shit.
Maybe.
Like un amigo might have been like, hey, well, you can move out, way.
Yeah.
You're fucking this old. They look like they're okay.
Yeah.
Your mom
but
handles this.
Maybe.
And then it took someone literally in another country.
Or maybe it's someone around that age of my parents, where it's like an adult is telling me, hey, it's okay for you.
That could be
because with friends, it's like, bitch, move out. What the fuck? Yeah, of course, I should. But when you get that, that reassurance from someone as the same
But
age as your parents.
Yeah, it could be that too, but I'm saying that it's so far removed from your world, man.
Yeah,
That says the same thing. Something fucking snaps.
Yeah.
I don't think you should ever get emotional, financial advice from family members. I think that's a really bad idea because in their head is they don't want you to suffer. So any decision, anything that they're gonna suggest is to not make you suffer, and that's not what you need. You need to fucking sometimes go through the trenches, and if you rely on your family for comfort and for advice, they're never gonna tell you, or they are, but it's very rare. Usually, family are more like, oh no, take the safe route.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need, like Fernie says, sometimes somebody else telling you the same thing.
That's removed from your world.
It's removed from your world. But then I like family way, but sometimes I feel like family is a little overrated. But because of that, because they say, your family is this, your family is that. But dude, my family historically, everything they've given me as far as advice is to keep a safe fucking road ahead and not suffer, which they're doing it out of love. But I don't need that to survive. Like I need somebody to tell me, ¿sabes qué, güey? La estás cagando, pero go for it and you're gonna learn something.
Yeah. Pero también like financial shit, not financial shit, pero por decir, I don't know if this is even ballpark, I guess, now that I think about it. Pero a veces también you got the fucking the raza celos or the raza.
Yeah. For sure.
There's a lot of different things, but I don't know if this one falls under the celos. I'm trying to find the word for it. But for example, like fucking, I used to be into little hobby way, and then one of the tios fucking got into the
already.
Yeah, one of the tios got into the hobby shit too. That like he saw my shit and he got all into it. But he's older. He does well for himself, so he starts buying the nice shit, right?
Yeah.
And fucking, like, he came once and he's showing me his fucking thing. And then I was like, ¿qué pedo? Like, está presumiendo su... I'm like, of course.
He showed you his thing? Te está presumiendo. This story also turned dark.
So
we're keeping it lighthearted here, Fernie. Gosh.
I know, bro.
Hey, bro, I thought we were getting
Parental
serious.
resentment and shit.
He started showing me
I
his
felt
shit.
like this was therapy, bro. It was
Sorry, bro. Let me stop the camera.
I thought it was a therapy session,
this is
bro.
a safe space.
I thought we were talking about parents and fucking...
I just didn't expect that from your uncle, güey.
What? El tío mañoso, güey? Come on.
He showed me his thing. I don't know, güey.
Well, he showed me el aparato, pues.
El aparato.
Is that what he called it?
Jesus.
Right? So fucking, pero I go, oh shit, fucking, está chingón, güey. ¿Cuánto te salió? Y qué pedo? Y tu no was the fucking involved. And he did that.
Así dice el tío. Así nací bendecido, amigo.
Costó sacrificio.
Esto nomás te cuesta una vez en la vida.
Oh my God, too many jokes.
I don't think we should joke about this topic, güey.
A ver, ¿qué pues?
Oh no, but he did the classic that's happened to me a few times in my life.
He one-upped you?
No, he didn't one-up me, but he goes, oh yeah, no, he explained, me presume. Digo, pues ¿cuánto te salió? Y qué this, and like I start asking questions like, oh yeah, wait, pues I mean, you can start with this other one que cuesta this menos, like the entry level one way, and then like work yourself up to this one, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm asking you about this one, way. ¿Cuánto te salió este? Yeah. And what was the process to get here? No, wait, you should start with this other one. Like this is not for you. This is for me. I can afford this too. I'm like, what do you know what I can afford? Wait, you don't even know what
That's a really common thing for like older guys to not want to tell you the price of things. Like they don't. It seems like it's them telling you how much something
but I'm
was
saying
worth.
Usually it's like family because I've had strangers like when I used to work in the West Side with Ramon. That they have some fucking nice shit. I've seen some things too that I'm into. I'm like, hey, wait, it's fucking nice. I'm into shit too, blah, blah. And I ask them, they tell me right away, this fucking, I got this over here, me costó this much, blah, blah, blah. What kind do you have? Like fucking, I'm like, no, sí, güey, obviamente, pero they're not stingy with the info.
Family's overrated, bro.
That's the deal right away. Like, no, you don't want to start here. You want to start down here.
Sí, telling you, man.
That's the equivalent of when you ask the tías, tía, ¿cómo se hace ese arroz? Pues mira, empieza por acá, mija. They don't want to tell you the recipes, and it's like,
or ¿cómo haces enchilada? Oh, esta lata. No, pero tú lo hiciste from scratch. No, usa la lata de...
para que te salga, para que practiques, mija.
What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know where that's from, but I'm like,
I don't know if that's a raza thing. I called it a raza thing, but only because that's what I feel like it is.
Like
family's overrated.
Yeah, like keeping the recipes. And I told my mom, my mom with me, I'll tell her, hey, how do you do it or whatever. Y siempre me sale diferente, even if she gives me the same. it always comes out
Maybe
different.
she's sabotaging you.
I'll beat her ass, man. I'll go home
Te
right
quisiste
now.
ir de la casa, cabrona.
Hey, let me guess. Siempre te sale salada la comida.
No, because I've watched her make it and I'm just like, okay, whatever. It never comes out the same. And I even told my mom, like, stop being selfish with your recipes. Like, a ti te las doy. I'm like, yeah, but in general, like, because no matter what your recipe is, not going to come out the same. It's always based on the person, you know?
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe that. Pero es como es así el tío, el fucking hating tío. Like, no, start from the bottom.
I'm an asshole.
I mean, I don't know if I took
The
it as
same
hating,
tías.
but there's something there to that.
No, there
Like,
was I mean,
Yeah.
if you felt it, it probably was hate. It was a little shady.
It's just them fucking not wanting you to be at their level or
Yeah.
something, or fucking know
Yeah.
their. But I mean, I don't understand. Because like in that case, I bring up that one because I'm the one that got him into that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like he would be like, hey, we're just talking about fucking hobby shit,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
you're talking shop.
Where we're talking like shop,
Yeah.
and he still wait. Todavía fucking knocked me down. Goes, no, bro, you don't want to start here. Start down here. But I go, okay, bien, Dick, you jumped right into here, wait, to the deep end.
So it almost sounds like they want us to go through that rite of passage of like fucking up.
Yeah,
before
but
we get to the.
But what I'm saying is he didn't go through the rite of passage.
I'm sure some guy told him, or some girl or whatever told him, this is how you do it, and he fucking. Yeah, no, he's totally right. Like, that's family, dude. That's what family does, man.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, because he didn't go through that rite of passage you're saying of starting down here. He had the lana to start up here, and
Plus, he
went
started
straight.
down, and you told him shit to bring him up to fucking.
You didn't even tell him. He was curious about the stuff your
Well,
shit.
no,
No,
yeah, I showed up to you.
Oh, he was curious about
because I
his
was
shit.
thinking, yeah,
But I'm sure you shoot the shit. You were telling him like, oh, this and
Oh
that.
yeah,
to
and
get him
I told him
started.
these are the fucking these are the entry level. These are these. There's these tan más
Now,
cariñosos,
now I
pero
want to
tan
know what
chingones.
hobby we're talking about. What were you talking about?
Well, in aquel entonces this was little RC cars.
Oh, okay.
But I went from the normal ones. I used to go to the little track too.
Yeah.
Pero Dick, you got 10-year-olds que fucking
Yeah,
that have those reflexes que fucking madres, güey.
yeah.
But he went straight up to like a fucking nice fucking chingon, like probably fucking even like a couple thousand, way fucking nice
Yeah,
little
bro.
carrito. And then he went up to like those big fucking ones that almost have like lawnmower engines.
Con
and
pinche
shit.
gasolina.
Yeah, güey, la gasolina, not
Yeah.
the little fucking
Yeah,
nitro,
yeah,
güey. Yeah, no, está, pero yeah, güey, it's just weird, güey. Because it's not the first time, and probably not gonna be the last time. I hope I don't end up doing it to fucking like a little nephew or something.
I know.
You know what?
I watch
though?
myself.
You know what, though, Noela? I don't feel bad for the kids that our generation are the parents of. I feel bad for the next kids that their parents are like maybe 27, 30, 32 right now. I feel bad for those kids because historically fucking people have been making terrible choices for a long time, and it's starting to affect society. And what are you really teaching your fucking child? Like, what are you teaching them? Like,
Well, what I mean, I don't know, porque I'm not a parent or anything, but I always think like, how much responsibility should a child have?
you know,
You know, like,
we're expected to figure shit out that we can't. It's impossible.
We're-
Like,
But what do you mean by child? Like, what age you talking
like I
about?
mean, you know, a baby, like a infant
well,
to
baby
like
doesn't know
10,
shit.
12, 13,
Ay, güey.
where I'm thinking like, ¿cómo te digo? ¿Cómo te lo explico? De que one time I'll say like this. One time I went to a training for one of my jobs, and then there was a question like, oh, you know, what's the, they were talking about like, it was a child welfare training, whatever, you know, child abuse, all that crap. Y la pregunta era like, you know, what's the problem now with the way we're raising our kids? And I'm like, now, in general, a lot of shit. But one of the responses I gave was like, well, we don't allow our children to be children.
you know.
We've never been allowed to be children.
And what is just for the sake of the conversation, what in your opinion is letting a child be a child?
Being carefree, them not worrying about having to take on a parental role when they're 5 years old because their mom's out there fucking getting wasted and not being responsible. So then this 5-year-old has to take care of their 2-year-old and 18-month-old sibling.
Yeah.
Those type of things.
Yeah.
And now, granted, the world, it is what it is, what it is. That's what I'm saying. There's never going to be children that are just able to grow up normally. Not in the world that we're in now. You try to protect them.
There's a rare exception that they are.
But I mean, that
You-
existed before too.
Yeah,
I mean,
por eso
that's-
digo, eso nunca va.
That's not new.
Yeah, pero por eso digo, in that training or that forum, whatever, when they're asking, what's the problem? I'm like, the problem, the issue is that children have never been allowed to be children, ever. You know, they're little people that we expect them to understand the adult world when we should be the ones to adjust to their level because they're new to this.
Yeah.
You know?
It was hard for our parents. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, but like if I'm a 9-year-old kid and I speak English, like, and my parents need a translator,
Yeah.
it's I think your argument hits a little different being first generation because
Yeah.
what choice did our parents have? And as us having that I don't know if it's a cultural thing that we want to contribute to our family.
Yeah.
Being the interpreter at 9 in the fucking immigration fucking office was a little
Yeah.
rewarding because you were contributing to your
Yeah.
family. So
No, but and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong, but it's like, you know, to what point do we take certain response? In that case, tú ibas con tus parents. También nosotros, you know, we would help with the paperwork, whatever. So we were given the adult role in that situation. But then we were asked to still be a child in other situations. Does that make sense? Where like we grew up having dual roles of ayúdame a llenar tus papeles, answer the phone, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, ¿qué pasó, ma? But then as soon as that call was done, okay, go wash the dishes. You can't do this. You can't do that. Like, wait, I just did something mature and responsible, but now I can't do this other shit because now I'm a child again in this 30-minute span.
I don't know, man. That's a hard one, like, because
I know.
There's a lot of kids that grow up in other countries that their main purpose is to provide and help as little kids do adult things. And from the outside, I mean, it looks like they're fine, they're happy, they're thriving as kids. And I think it's as a society, we're not. The problem is that I think we haven't really built a society that's kid friendly. I mean,
I don't.
There's no
think it's ever existed
because this guy has kids, but if Fernie like no, but I'm saying because we don't have kids, way.
Yeah.
No,
like
so
That's why I'm listening, bro.
so what I'm saying is like. Let your kids play out in the street and be kids like the way we were. It's not a thing that parents do now, right, bro?
It's not when
it's not the same world.
Well, it goes back to we've talked about many times. Where like we have more information now, and I think maybe too much information because we got too much information like at our fingertips. Way, like I'm sure fucking the kidnappings and kids getting run over fucking didn't start in fucking the 2000s, you know. But they start. Our parents fucking still let us fucking run around till the fucking street light came on, you know?
Yeah.
And you still rode your bike fucking what felt like miles and miles from your house. It's probably like fucking 3 blocks or something.
Yeah.
You know? But you felt like you're fucking another world. And nowadays, even me as a parent, like I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with that. And I think it's because all that information we have now, you know? So you don't feel as comfortable for that reason. Like my kids, I live already, like to put it in context, I live in a gated community. I'm at the end of a little like cul-de-sac thing. Like for the most part, the only cars that go down that way is if they live there or they're delivering something, you know?
Yeah.
So it has even less traffic than the rest of the little complex. And when my kids go outside to play, I still go out there and I sit in a little chair. I check my messages, check fucking Instagram, all that shit while they run around. And I kind of let them go fucking hasta allá y se pierden and don't see them for fucking half an hour.
Yeah.
But I know they're not going far away. Like they're literally not even a block, you know. And they're in that little community. I'm saying all those little safeguards already, and I still feel the need to sit out there. Way like I don't just let them go outside and fucking. I said, man, I'll call you when fucking dinner's ready, type of shit. I sit out there.
Yeah.
So, it's weird. Way like I think it's all that information, pues like. Even under all those conditions that you think are positive, I still feel that need.
It goes back to what you were telling Noelia, like you felt guilty leaving your mom and it ended up not being that big of a deal. We also assume the worst all the time, way, and most of the thing, a high percentage of the things that we stress about never even fucking happen. It's just our minds are always gonna gravitate to the negative stuff. And
but I'm saying, should we not like stress out then about it?
I don't have kids, way, so I mean.
No, but I'm saying like even in general, like that. I mean, because it's hard to say. No, like, was that pointless? You know, like that was that stressing out pointless? Was there a time maybe? Like, because what I'm saying is you can't calculate this way. Like, was there, only like Noelia way, if there's like 10 years, when she turned 20, she said she left like until 30, no?
31.
30. Only for 10 years, she felt that guilt. Like, she wanted to go, but she felt that guilt.
No.
How do you calculate, and maybe your parents did need you when you're 24, but didn't need you when you're 30?
Yeah.
Like, how do you, there's no way to figure out that math. Or maybe those 10 years they didn't need you at all.
There's no playbook way.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to figure it out. You have to do what's best for yourself at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah.
And if being and by the way, there could also be that male or female that's perfectly happy being that for their parents, which is fine. Who are we to say? Who are we to say like
just because it's bad for us?
Yeah. No, but who are we really though? Who are we to say like, hey, why are you fucking wasting your life helping your family when that him or her that brings them great fucking joy and pleasure way.
Yeah.
So it's like it's an individual thing where there's no playbook. You have to see what's best for you, but don't believe society telling you that that's bad if that's really what you want to do. Like, and there's a lot of that where like I see that with sex where there's this pressure that couples need to have sex fucking 3 times a week, and you think about it's like that's fucking ridiculous way. Like, let's be realistic. There's couples that do not need to have sex and still have a great fucking bond. There's people that need to have sex once a month. Like, we can't fucking put these pressures on ourselves that we think that's what people need. And no, dude, no. There could be 3 months without having sex, and it's fine. Your relationship's fine.
Yeah.
If you guys still connect.
Cada quien, cada pareja.
Wait, 3 months, is it?
I mean,
Dude,
cada quien.
There's people that don't have sex. Wait. When you're 80, you think you have sex fucking 3 times? You think you have fucking sex once a month?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like,
we're not 80 yet.
No,
I don't know.
No, but these people don't have sex, quote unquote, the way that we think sex is, because sex is a broad word. Sex is not just penetration. Sex is having a conversation. Sex is there's more to sex than just bam and squirting and fucking whatever.
Right.
Like, there's more to it, way. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves with that, and then just think across the board how much pressure we're putting on everything. That we need to have sex 3 times a week if we're in a relationship. That's what's healthy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
like, there's no. It's an individual. If it works for your relationship, that's fine as long as you guys have the communication. But don't think that because society's telling you that something's wrong with you, if inside you're happy, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
What the playbook
true.
is.
I agree in that sense that the pressure of feeling like you have to be in this certain space or in this certain
little
box because of what other people tell you. Yo, por ejemplo, like right now, what I'm not, it's not even a struggle. It's not a struggle. I don't know what's the proper word though, but it's like, okay, I'm 42. What's the next step? I didn't get married. I don't have kids. What's the next step? Okay, my health. I don't go out as much. Por lo mismo de que we're still in a pandemic, I think a lot of us are still, as much as we're trying to get back to normal, there's still that like
in the back, yeah.
Yes, because I'll go to like some restaurant, I'm like, oh no, it's too packed, let's get out, whatever.
Yeah.
To get a little anxiety.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. I'm not gonna lie, pero I'm in that phase where I'll go to my parents, I hang out with them, I like to hang out with them. I go home, I enjoy my quiet time. Granted, si hay momentos de que I'm like, I feel lonely, hold me tighter. I get over it. It's just very momentitos de like any other person, any other human. I'm going through a breakup. I say I'm still going through it because last year was just anger, confusion, and a bunch of other crazy shit. This year is more of the actual sadness part of it, like the nostalgia, because my situation, it just went crazy. Pero now I'm in that phase of like going through that breakup sadness, Pero lo que estoy haciendo es que like, I go to my parents and I don't do it because I have to. It's like, okay, I enjoy doing this. I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad that they rely on me to help them out when like, hey, we're going to travel. Can you stay with your little brother? We're going to go here. Can you house it? I don't feel bad that they depend on me. My thing is that there's always that one person, one child in the family that ends up becoming that go-to person. In this case, I'm the go-to person for my parents because in their ideas, in their traditions, and the way they see things, it's like, oh no, your brother has his family. You don't have kids or family, so you're easier and more accessible to help us out.
More flexible.
And sometimes it's like, mija, like, do you, like, rarely, but she's like, do you have plans? I'm like, yes. What are you going to do? I'm like, nothing. What do you mean? Te estoy preguntando si tienes plan. Le digo, yeah, tengo planes de no hacer nada.
Yeah, they don't understand
Yeah,
that.
they don't understand. I'm like, I'm going to be home and I'm going to just be miserable today because I just feel like shit. ¿Qué tienes? Blah, 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 blah. And that's the thing.
Oh God, dude.
I will tell them like, no, ma, es que me siento como aguitada. ¿Qué tienes, mija? ¿Qué te pasa? Nothing. I have no. And that's like the depression kicking in where you're like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I am.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that I will let someone close near to me, like, be like, hey, like, I'm feeling this way, whatever. Pero I don't feel bad or weird, like, oh, you know, I'm 42 and, you know, blah, 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 I get to hang. No, to me, I'm like, in one way, shape, or form, it's a privilege because like, I get to go wherever I want, do whatever I want, you know. I'm processing my own shit right now on my own. And that's why when I told you earlier, you know, like, yeah, the urge of a friend to want to reach out to another friend when they're going through something, but then taking a step back and understanding, like, he's an adult.
Yeah.
Whatever this accident caused, because I thought of that too. I thought, like, what you shared earlier, I was like, okay, like, physically he got hurt, but now that physical pain is going to manifest into something else.
Yeah.
You know? And I love my friend. I know he's okay. Physically, he's okay. And when he's ready, he'll just reach out.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the space I'm in too, where it's like, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. I don't know where these feelings are coming from. People will be texting me and I'm just like, oh, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, that's
Do
exactly...
you have draft messages too?
Pero el punto que llego es de que I'm in that age and then that phase in my life where it's like, okay, I partied. I was in 2 long-term serious relationships where I experienced love, but I also experienced heartbreak and heartache and stress and a lot of other shit that I was never expecting to go through. Now it's the time for growth, you know? And that can take another fucking 40 years because I'm 42 and I'm still dealing with a 13-year-old traumatized kid inside.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people, oh, I'm always going to, like, I might be 45, but the 13-year-old chubby, insecure girl is always going to be inside.
For sure.
You know? And you try to suppress that. Pero, like, my thing is, too, like, a lot, por eso it goes back to the pressure of the culture, of our families, of being a female that's 42 and didn't meet those quote-unquote goals of having a family, getting married, you know, teniendo tu casa y salirte de tu casa de tus papás vestida de blanco, like
Those standards, yeah.
You know, those standards. And when we don't meet those, some of us do feel like, fuck, like I failed my parents.
And it sucks because...
And it sucks. But I don't feel that way anymore. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, there's still little pockets of like, of family treating you different when you're having those conversations. Like, pobrecita kind of thing.
Yes.
And it's like, wait, pobrecita, like, no.
Whoa.
This was my, or with me, it's like, I feel like people change like their with family way. They change like their tone to make me feel more like, oh, no, this is my choice, way.
Yes.
Like, don't fucking make me feel like pobrecito que he's not married and has kids. Like, no, way. This is
by design.
It's by design, way. Like, and my perspective is like, I and then everybody says, well, you never know when you're gonna have kids, or there's never the right time. Okay, yeah, but I could plan for it if I wanted to. And my whole thing was like, I don't want to continue these traumatic genes that my dad had from his dad, from his dad, from his dad, from his dad.
Yeah.
I don't want that to continue. And if the purpose of my life in this current form is to break that fucking cycle, then that's what my purpose is. It's not to fucking procreate and have a child. Maybe my purpose in this life is to end that fucking traumatic...
That cycle.
Way. And that's my path. It's like, no, well, fuck that. This ends with me. Like, this is going to end with me. It's the pressure that I put on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you chose how to end the cycle, pues. I mean, some people do it other ways. And you're saying, what you choose is fine, way. Like, that's your way, you know?
Yeah.
My dad covered it with alcohol. His dad covered it with alcohol. I don't know the history of my ancestors, but I'm going to make an assumption that
that's enough.
His dad also did alcohol, and then his dad did alcohol. And so it's like, I don't need to have kids, way. My sacrifice to this bloodline is to get rid of all those fucking traumas.
Yeah. And working on that, taking that responsibility and ownership of like, I don't want to continue it, and not feeling bad about it either. Because a lot of times, por ejemplo, like I'll say we, but I felt bad, like I said, bad because like, fuck, like my parents would have maybe wanted grandkids. Maybe they wanted to see me settle down with a good man that's going to take care of me and all this and all that.
Con terrenos,
que me va a cuidar, que me va a tener todo esto.
Se quedó ese
you know, me quedé sin nada. I mean, who knows? But that guilt, and also like yourself, where it's like, I chose not to have children because like, on my mom's side of the family, there's a lot of genetic issues, on my dad's side too, and it's like, that's a big responsibility. And I have been told subtly through conversations with family or whatever of how selfish that is. And I'm like,
Really?
yes.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Those nonverbal cues and those subtle comments that you're
Raza
like,
style.
yes,
like
the Tio style of
Stupid,
like,
right? Like they don't see what their words
where
do.
it's like I made the conscious choice to not become a parent because we see it a lot. For example, people stay in bad relationships because that's all they know. Some people become parents because they think that a child's gonna fix their bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Some people get in relationships with the hope of like, at least this is a meme I've seen, like, oh, you know, the right woman will calm your demons. No. Or shit like that. Because sometimes and I've seen it with some people that become parents where it's like, you're holding this little innocent thing responsible for your fucking 30 years of fuck up.
Yeah.
Like that. How? Why? That's selfish.
You know what's one of those kind of quotes that kind of irks me the wrong way now? When they say behind a great man there's a woman.
Oh yeah.
What was she just lurking in the fucking corner?
Like a stalker. Tóxica.
Most of the time she was.
But that's when they say that behind. No, I want fucking a partner way. I don't
On
want
the side, my
I don't
side.
want somebody lurking in the fucking in the corners of the darkness of the.
Yeah, but
Like I don't need that. You know?
When they take a picture of you all like successful, she's behind in the
behind a great man, there's a woman. Like what? Just fucking in the corner? Like what do you
Pero
mean?
it's because back in the days, también, like these are old sayings, güey, and
Yeah,
and
it is.
this thing is recent, pues, que the woman can stand with you, pues, and be your partner, like you're saying. In esos tiempos, you couldn't say, "Oh, she's my partner." No one will take you serious.
Yeah, but
So they had to literally be in the fucking closet
Yeah.
peeking out, way.
But
then-
that's the dilemma that our parents don't fucking understand is that these are the pressures that we're trying to change because we're not only are we changing, like you're changing also. I feel like you're in the same boat as me. It's like this is where it ends. Like this is where this is gonna end. I don't want to fucking have kids because this is where this is ending. But then they don't realize like all the shit that we also are changing.
Yeah.
Society, like the family dynamics where my mom has to make me food or like
Or where you
Lunch
have
at
to
talk.
or where you have to have children to be a family. You know, there's couples that don't have children. That's a family.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's a family. A person with a pet. You know.
Or I mean, to same-sex people, pues, it's still family. Some people don't
Y luego también
consider that a family, güey.
piggybacking whatever on that comment of behind every successful man there's a woman. What does that say to females that might interpret that in a different way? And then just in general to successful people, like it could have been your family that was behind you. It could have been your friends, your support system that led for you to be that successful. So behind every successful person, there could be a trail of people, not just a woman.
But
Probably.
and that's a good point. But my issue with that quote is like, or that statement is like, I don't want the person to be behind me.
Partner
Like I need
okay.
I need this person to fucking right there be with me and be like,
Yeah.
hey, wait, this is what we're going. This is how we're going to do it. What do you think? Yeah, go for it. But that phrase being behind, it just kind of it doesn't
Yeah.
it
There's a
doesn't,
lot
it
of-
doesn't rub
It's
me the right way.
antiquated, pues.
Yeah,
it's-
está antigua. Yeah,
It
está
doesn't,
antigua.
doesn't rub me the right way.
Yeah,
It's just
and I get it
antiquated,
because it's like no, it's a partnership. She should be whoever that is on my side, not behind me. Equals.
And in the defense of a lot of women, there's a lot of shitty men where that don't have their shit together. So if the woman's behind him and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, like
And she doesn't wanna
somebody
pressure him.
has to control this fucking shit. Way,
But then she doesn't want to control it because then she comes out of being too controlling and everything.
everybody
Pero-
has to push their way.
Yeah, pero no, yeah. O también hay esas personas, men or women, that they have the potential to be successful, but they're just lazy.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But no, I totally understand what you're saying. It's like no, it should behind.
It's
No,
old
it's a
shit.
successful. Yeah,
But
it's a partner.
It's kind of like what he's been saying. Yeah, I get it now. That's been
I mean, eso de like, I mean, it goes back to the whole the passage in the Bible of like, oh, God created, Eve from the rib of Adam and blah, blah, blah. It's like, the metaphor, they're like, yeah, so they could be equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it, Bible, dun, dun, dun,
And that's what's missing is the equal part on both sides. I think
Yeah.
I think society is really. I mean, I was reading, and I know we kind of talked about it a little bit on Instagram, but the rate of depression with middle-aged women, straight women, is skyrocketing right now, which is crazy to me because it was like the little girls were the ones that were depressed, but now there's research coming out that middle-aged women are also fucking depressed at a high rate. And then as somebody that wants to understand why that is, I mean, it's just seeing the cultural kind of fucking toxic conversation that's happening. I feel like a lot of straight women are being neglected from society because there's an emphasis on the trans community. There's an emphasis on the non-binary and all that. But I feel like from the outside, I'm looking in like, where's this shit for straight women? Like that's who I deal with. Like I have a partner that's a straight woman. Like I deal with all the shit she's going through. I don't see really anybody in the media or anything really thinking about her.
I know, right? We're just no se casaron o no tuvieron hijos o no hicieron career.
There's a group though too that
I don't know.
There's like a women's group that kind of saying the same. I can't remember what it's saying. They're pretty much anti the gay shit, but for reasons like he's saying, like what about us?
I'm not anti anything.
No, I'm saying there's a group that's saying kind of like what you're saying. That I'm saying.
We're depressed and we're saying, and you guys have forgotten about us.
Yeah, pretty much. There's like
a group like that.
But
okay,
I can't remember. They have a stupid name. My bad.
Now, my
I'm saying like,
is,
go ahead.
No, go on.
No,
I'm not.
Because my question was like, in this study, was it a general study or just a specific single group of females? Meaning, were they white women that they did this research on or study, or was it a composure of all types of middle-aged, all races women?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
Porque a veces también when it's studies like that, at least like with psychology, a lot of the founding fathers of psychology, I'm like, they were all men who studied on other men, white men, and when they started studying on women, it was rich white women. Yeah. So a lot of that shit, I'm like,
so you don't think middle-aged Latinas are like depressed?
Oh no, yeah, I do, Esteban. I completely agree with it.
I would say it goes back a long time.
Yeah, but okay, so that's what I'm saying.
But like her mom, my mom, they don't understand that it was depression that they felt.
Yeah.
Like they shit on us because you're depressed. Like, Dick, you were depressed this whole time. You just don't know what it is.
Because you were masking it by cooking all the time.
Yeah, and by being obedient,
or by being obedient, or drinking under the table.
Pero también are we? I mean, not to say que no, way, because I know for a fact. I mean, I seen my mom in those moods that you would call depression, but they probably wouldn't. Pero I'm saying like, are we projecting again? Because like in their tiempos, pues that was normal. How much of it was it like really like? There's things that obviously they're gonna affect you regardless, but like when you think it's normal in your head. Are you really going to get that depressed that you're getting put in that role?
Well, there's a lot of Stockholm syndrome in that community.
Something like that,
and then that they don't... My mom got the shit beat out of her way for fucking her whole life. So I'm just hitting the surface level of the depression, but there's Stockholm syndrome that maybe was never diagnosed and never really looked at in our community.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
My mom was scared to leave my dad. She loved him. What is that? Definition Stockholm
syndrome when you start empathizing with your perpetrator.
So there's more things to it than it's actually far worse.
But that's what I'm saying, like
than just saying depression.
Like that one's like a pretty clear cut. Nope, was like that there's no right way to beat a woman. Like once you cross something like a line like that's otro pedo. But like when we start saying maybe they're cooking a chingo because they were depressed, like are we projecting at that point?
No. It's just that depression manifests itself in a lot of things. You know, a lot of times when someone is like clinical depression is one thing, you know. Por eso digo, there's those sadness moments, you know, like that I experienced where like, I get sad pero it doesn't last long enough for me to be like, okay, this is depression that I need to go get consulted
like
for.
Clinical, like you're saying.
It's not clinical. Lo que digo es que many times when some people, when they go through depression, they don't know that they're going through it because there's no name to it. So when I feel, not projecting, but just when our moms were growing up, they didn't know that it was depression. And sometimes our mind is so busy trying to block that it just trains you to start doing something else to avoid that. Do you know what I mean?
Y también, pues like you're saying, you don't know. You don't
some
know
people, like, you know, when they're going through their depression, it's not always about laying down and just being bummed and sad and not wanting to shower. It's about maybe getting fixated on something. Some people, when they're going through depression, they just start working out so much to the point of getting tired because they don't want to deal with that sadness or whatever it is. Pero back to the what you were bringing up about middle-aged women being depressed and feeling like we're being, you know, swept under the rug because there's so many other things going on. I believe it is possible that there's a bunch of us out there depressed. Not in my sense, it's not so much like I'm depressed because I'm not married or I don't have kids. No, it's just that learning to navigate the world differently than when we were taught to do it.
Yeah.
You know, in my experience, like I'm only speaking on the Latina, Mexican, American, first generation female perspective, okay? De que I can understand why there's a lot of us that are depressed because we're trying to do things differently.
Yeah.
We're not trying to fall into, we're even there's older women still that they're 50 and they're like, no, I still want to get married. I still want to get out of my parents' house with a white dress. Rightfully so, if that's what you want. But then there's some of us that don't care about that idea, who don't want that idea. And because it's been so forced on us, trying to get out of that idea and that culture training causes a lot of stress and guilt, and then that can be the depression that a lot of us are feeling of like, fuck, like I didn't meet those things that my parents wanted because I want more for myself, whether it's traveling everywhere, whether it's going to concerts all the time, whatever it is that makes me happy, whatever it is that makes me feel fulfilled, it's not what the rest of the world wants, and that can cause that sense of depression or sadness.
Anxiety,
is like
a lot of things.
Who knows? That's what I'm maybe like. No, yeah. Who knows why a lot of these women are depressed? That's why I'm like, is it in general females of certain age, or is it white females of this certain age from this certain demographic, or is it in all consensus? Because if you take 25 first generation Mexican American females between the ages of 40 and 45, and you ask them if you're going through depression, what is it? We all might be feeling like, oh, it is this. So in that group, it's just that. If it was white women, it's probably something else. Like, oh, I didn't get my fucking Tesla when I wanted. Shit. You know what I mean?
I didn't have my Tesla in 2 weeks.
The thing I want to like double click on what you said, which I think it's an important little factor that plays a key role in like, I guess like the outcome of the whole thing is, if you're doing it just because you don't want, that's what your parents said that you need to do. Like that's a difference than if you're really doing it because you don't want to, because if you really want children, and that's really, they say that one of the leading causes of depression in later age is not having children when you wanted children, which I believe. So if you tell yourself, I don't want this because my parents want it, then you're not really doing it because you don't want to have children. You're doing it to prove a point to them, which is a really key distinction that I wanted to double click on, because that kind of dictates where everything goes after that.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true. That's why it's like the choices that you made, are they because generally they're your choices that you made because for yourself?
Or you want to prove a point to
prove
somebody.
a point. Yeah. No, mine was never to prove a point ever. It's never been to prove a point. I never proved them. I never proved at the same time, it's like reminding people whatever decision you're making with your life that's not harming anyone else and it's not harming you, and it's making you happy and it's going to bring you a sense of peace, by all means. It's going to be hard because there's so many, like I said, we've been conditioned to think certain things for so long that now we're like, I don't want to think like that. I want to change things. It's going to take work. And a lot of times people don't want to do the work because it's scary. It's scary to do the work.
Yeah.
Because doing the work means taking accountability for our own toxic traits that we bring into situations. And a lot of times we don't want to admit that we're the wrong ones. That was one of the things that one time when I was talking to Ramon, because he's way more sensitive. I don't know now. Now I think he's building a thick skin.
He'll listen to this.
Yeah, of course.
He's taking notes right now.
He's right. He's just like, yeah.
He set his alarm. Pero that we were just talking about. We grew up. I me acuerdo del punto, pero de que I tell him, like, don't feel bad about just letting people move on. Everybody's on a different path, and don't take it personal. He's always been a little bit more softer than me, pero que es un poquito más soft, pero que le digo, no, don't feel guilty for the decisions you're making with your life, and and don't take it personal when people move on, because his thing was always like, are we the problem?
Yeah.
Are we the toxic friends?
Maybe, who cares?
Maybe,
are we this? Are we that? And I'm like, no, Raymond, like, we're not the toxic friends.
See, that's family for you. You need an outside to tell you, yes, you are, you fuck.
No, le dije,
Who's the common denominator?
This is exactly what I'm saying, where it's family's always telling you shit that...
Like, no, Raymond, you're not the problem.
Reassuring you that you're not toxic when you're toxic.
Yes, you are toxic, bro. It's
no, yeah.
Hey, Ramon, look at YouTube, way. I'm pointing right at you right now, way. It's you.
You're doing a Ramon pointing at no one?
Pero, I'm like, he's getting thick skin. Pero, que yo like, well, maybe we are the toxic friends. And that's okay. We'll learn from it. Eventually, with time, we'll learn, like, maybe it is this, maybe it is that, But at the end of the day, if it makes you happy and it's not hurting anyone physically and it's not putting you in harm's way, who are the rest of the world to say what's good for you or not?
Of course, yeah. It goes back to what we were saying.
Yeah, and yo por eso digo, like, if being a parent, if you're because there's people, believe it or not, they grew up in good homes with both parents and getting along with their siblings and going on family trips. They had all that good stuff. No trauma, no anything. I'm not going to be mad about that. And I'm not going to be mad if a child that grew up in that type of home grows up wanting to have their own family and their own this and their that. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you're so plain and you're so normal. And no, you're so basic because you want to have it. No, if that's going to make you happy, if you grew up in a fucked up home where you didn't have your parents and you're raised by your grandma who barely made it and you grow up wanting like, I don't want this. I want my own family. Then that's fine too.
That's kind of a hard one to say though, no? Like, because we don't know exactly. Like from the outside, everything is white fence and all this shit, and we assume from the outside that these people grew up with everything they need. We just don't realize what people go through as far as like the things that they really keep inside. I wouldn't go as far as to say like they had everything. And
no, not everything, pero en el senso de que no crecieron con traumas que
that we know.
Yeah.
We don't know because it's like going back to the depression talk. Is our parents cooking depressed? I don't know my mom's thoughts when nobody was around. That's when depression shows up. Like when there's nobody around, you're not occupied doing things. You're doing things to mask it. But who are you when my dad was asleep and we were all asleep and my mom was looking up? I don't know that person. That's my mom, but that's not the person that I know. But I'm gonna assume that it wasn't all fucking flowers and peaceful fucking thoughts. And so we don't know what people go through. We can assume, but we just don't know.
And I'm just basing it on people that I've met. You know,
basic people. She
basic,
said.
no, basic fucks. No, just people that I'm like, que así en plática, they just like, oh no, blah blah. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but don't judge me because I don't want the same thing you want.
Yeah, that's the problem with society too.
Yeah,
man. that's everything that we're happening right now.
Yeah,
because people think that this is how you should do it.
Yeah, and it goes back to that whole point that I was telling these guys last time. Like, politically, we're not gonna. But our Supreme Court is old as people who still have ideas of slavery and all this other crazy shit. That's why it's just crazy now.
Well,
it's just crazy.
Está cabrón.
Pues con lo que está pasando es otro pedo, güey.
It is.
We're going backwards for sure.
For sure, because now it's they're starting to propose other laws to overthrow.
It opens up like a door, pues, es el pedo.
You know, por eso digo
it's just some further separation where it's further. The way I see it is it's not good just because like what women have to go through, but as a society way that's not good what it's doing for the dynamics of a male and female, because when women get upset about that, which they should, it's men are telling them this, and then when I deal with them, I'm a man, so it's like there's no emotional intelligence really in society to distinguish. Well, it's not that man, but it's man, and then it just creates further divide between genders, which that's what I don't think. If we're gonna not even argue, but if we're gonna discuss male female, I think the more healthier way to discuss that is to talk about it in a feminine and masculine way, not male or female, because that's when a lot of the confusion happens. Because we don't think that we're part of the other when we talk about male or female, but when you talk about feminine and masculine, I mean those are traits that they don't really have anything to do with humans. Those are the building blocks of civilization. Where you needed both. You needed both to build, and as society, we took on traits that are associated to one or the other, but. I don't feel like the male-female debate is really helpful. Where I think when you talk about it masculine and feminine, it's a little bit more healthy way, and you kind of see more light. I don't know, because what's happening is okay. It's a toxic masculinity world. It's a masculine-driven world. That's not specific to a gender. Where that's just a trait, right? And what happened with women. And this is my opinion. I'm glad that you're here so we can discuss this, because I've been thinking about this in my head and not having anybody to talk about it. So what I think, in my opinion, is that what happened with women getting into the workforce is society told them that they need to develop masculine traits in order to succeed, which in that journey they lost the feminine traits, which has nothing to do with female. There's nothing weak. It's just a different trait that was lost because this is a masculine-driven world, and women as a whole said we have to be more masculine to make it, losing the feminine side, and the men are doing the same, but in the opposite sense is we're becoming more feminine traits and our masculine traits are gone, which that's what people say when they talk about a balance is there's a lack of feminine traits in the world. There's no empathy way, really. There's lack of all that stuff that's associated to the feminine, which has nothing to do with male or female. It has nothing to do with being weak. It's just we created a masculine-driven world, and that's where the disconnect is. Whereas I feel is that a healthier conversation is to talk about it in a masculine and feminine way.
Yeah, but do you feel that there has to be titles for those traits?
Words are indicators, right?
Okay.
Words are used to navigate society because even though the majority of our language is communicated non-verbally, which but words are there. I mean, if there weren't words there, like it'll just be a fucking mess. Like we need words as, and that's the thing is that we shouldn't give words importance. They're just indicators. Like if there's a black cloud over the fucking ocean, water comes down. We call that rain. That's a label. That's a word. It doesn't mean reality. It's just an indicator.
Yeah. When
the rain hits the ocean, we no longer say it's rain. Oh, now what is it? Oh, it's an ocean. Oh, okay. So it was rain there. Now it's the ocean. It's the same thing. And if this thing hits a creek, oh, it's not an ocean anymore. Then what is it? Oh, it's a river. Oh, fuck. It's the same thing. What the fuck? Well, they're words to use as indicators. They're not meant to be reality. They're just indicators. So then when that water goes off a cliff, oh, yeah, the river. No, that's a waterfall. What the fuck? Like, how are you going to keep up with all this shit? I scoop it up. It's not a waterfall. It's a glass of water. All right, I'm fucked. Like, this is weird. So words aren't really meant to be reality. They're just indicators. And we put a lot of importance on them. And that's where a lot of the fucking chaos happens.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
So it's just
I don't know what to say because I agree.
Well, it's just indicators. Like the non-binary people or that community says gender or labels. It's a construct. Your pronouns are also a social construct. That's what you have to understand. Like you're telling me that this is a social construct, which I agree. But let's not put importance to it. It's just labels that are meant to communicate. But you're telling me that your social construct, like your gender, what you want to be referred to, that's also a social construct. But you're telling me I shouldn't do this, but I should do that. And that's where somebody
the lines are blurred.
That's where I'm like kind of like...
Yeah, but I'm saying then at that point, aren't you putting importance on one by saying... Because it almost sounds like you're saying, yeah, we already have this, and now you're making me use this. Like I don't... Like from what you're saying, where water is different things, you should just. I feel like it's easy enough. Like from that explanation, it should be easy enough to go from one to the other. Oh, you want me to call you this now? All right, fuck it, whatever. It's an indicator. It's not important. That moment that you say, well, now you want me to think this way. No, they're just giving you their indicator.
For sure.
That's what I'm saying. So there shouldn't be that moment where you go, well, now you want me to do this? No, they're just giving you an indicator.
I'm not saying that. I would never judge somebody like that. I'm just, I have to critical think the situation where what I'm saying is, okay, I get it. I'll call you whatever the fuck you want. But realize that that's also a social construct. We're cool with that, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'm just saying, where like,
I don't think I've never heard an argument from them saying it wasn't. Like all that, everything's like you're saying a social construct, that the rain, the waterfall, the creek.
They're not going to say that there's also a social construct, right? But they're saying that is a social construct. But what I'm saying is you have to realize that theirs is too. Yours is also, that's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying I've never heard the argument otherwise.
It doesn't mean that it's not real, way, because it's never been like addressed. It's just, we're just having a conversation about it. These are really complex issues, way. And the fact that they're complex, you have to think about them in a complex way. You can't just fucking go by base value way. And that's the problem with society, is that there's no critical thinking. There's no, wait, why are they telling me this shit? Why? I got to look into this. And if you really go down that rabbit hole and you realize that, yeah, that's right, then all power to you way. But if you can't fucking tell me exactly what you're going through because I want to understand you, then have you really discussed it within yourself, or you're just going by what people are telling you? And that's creating a lot of emotional, like, I don't know, way, like you feel like there's something missing, man. That's
so going back to your main why we started this, that you said for us to have the conversation, it has to be
it doesn't have to.
Oh, I mean, masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are the traits though? Like when you say masculine, what are the masculine traits that And what are the feminine traits?
Everything that you look at has both. You look at this phone. There's nothing aesthetically, there's nothing masculine about it. Masculine is a circuit board. You look at a circuit board, there's nothing feminine about a circuit board. It's building. And this, before I start this conversation, just because I know people take shit the wrong way, this has nothing to do with gender. Like, I'm not talking about male or female. I'm talking about traits that are the building blocks of civilization.
Yeah.
So this circuit board is a masculine thing. It's built. You're looking outside of yourself. You're trying to build something, right? You build a circuit board. The feminine is the aesthetics, right? What looks good. Feminine is empathy, nurturing, caring. All that are feminine traits that somehow society thought they were weak. And so we started seeing that as weak. Oh, that's feminine, bro. That's weak. And then women subscribe to it. Oh, they think that being emotional is weak. But then when you really think about it, it's not weak. That's what this world is missing. It's missing feminine traits because it's a masculine-driven world. We fuck each other for the sake of compensation. We constantly shout at each other because we want to get up. You guys have this, I want this. And it's all masculine traits about building and fucking conquering. And as a whole, the feminine traits is just gone with, and it's just an imbalance. When people talk about you have to be balanced, this is what they're referring to, where is you need. And not only do I need to have masculine traits where I want to protect and nurture and provide, but I can't be that without having feminine traits to have empathy for fucking people, to have fucking that's the imbalance, dude.
But what if I have more feminine traits as me? Like, why is that like out of balance? In other words.
Well, you're saying it yourself that you have more of something. No, that's an imbalance.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if that's just me, like, I just happen to have more empathy, pues. Or like you said, like, if you're Ramon, you're softer, pues. Softer, like, in those contexts makes you weaker. You're
answering your own question. Where, like, if you say Ramon, then you tell him you need to be like this. You need to. You're putting in more of a masculine trait that he needs to have because there's a lot of feminine. There's an imbalance. He's nurturing. He cares about other people. What's he missing? What is he missing from that equation? Why would we have to have a conversation with him?
But that would mean yes. But what I'm saying is, so that means taking away some of the empathy to replace it with something more masculine.
It's a balance, bro. You're saying it yourself.
But I'm saying, well, because I don't know if I 100% agree with that. There's a lot that I agree with, but I don't know. I don't think I'm 100% in on that one because, like I'm saying, like I think his more softer side, por decir, way, they're siblings. He like she said, he's softer, which implies she's a little harder than he is. There's a balance there. So I don't feel like that one person by themselves has to be that one linchpin, which is just both things, because sometimes you have a counterpart, or maybe I don't have that, but this other person does. I think as a whole, like maybe, I guess like as a world, it needs more balance so that you can counteract each other, but doesn't mean that one person has to have both.
I disagree with that way because that's when then we're talking about relationships where that person completes me. That person does not complete you. If you have both balances and that person also has both balances, that's a completion way. But if you have a lot of empathy and you're nurturing and you're caring for people, it doesn't benefit you at all that your partner is the masculine one. That's not a healthy relationship way. It's what I'm saying.
I think we read that a little wrong with that. I complete me. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't like that.
But that's what you're saying earlier.
No, yeah. Well, I'm still saying that because I don't like that phrasing. Pues like exactly like you're saying that. That person completes me because implies that you need them. Mm-hmm. But just like in parenting way, when there's two people, most of the time in the parenting, you always hear that think, my dad is the strict one and my mom's the fucking funner one, or my mom's the stricter one and my dad. So they have to complement each other in that way.
And look where that got them. We're talking about that generation.
No. But at my house it's the same way, and I don't view that as a negative.
I know, but look where that got that our parents' generation. That's exactly what the subscription was. The woman is a nurturing one. The male is the one that goes out and fucking finds food and brings money to the table. That created an imbalance in cultures where that's what I'm saying is that's what you get rid of because that's what contributed to our parents' downfall way.
But I'm saying in a relationship, there is a lot of that way. I don't think
60% of people end up in divorce way. There's the discrepancy in relationships where
but because people always say people don't change, but people do change over time. Like even saying that you matured, that's a change. You know, like you've learned your lessons. Way, of course you change. And people always say, "Oh, fucking people don't change." We do. We progress. Well, I mean, that's the hope, right? If you stay the same, then fucking obviamente you're fucking up. At least to me, I don't think it's that you complete me thing. Yeah, you gotta figure out your shit, but doesn't mean you can. ¿Cómo te lo explico? Like vibe or fucking like almost fit together with someone else. Pues doesn't mean you need them, but like you complement each other, and I think that's a thing. It doesn't mean, like I said, you complete me and I need you, but we complement each other. Pues like maybe mis fallas you cover because you've had more experience in that, or you've had different things that you've learned. You're más avanzado on that end maybe, and like vice versa. Pues, and you kind of complement each other, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Doesn't mean I fucking need that person if I've maybe not worked out all my shit, but I'm working my shit out. But I'm saying complimenting, I don't think is the same as you complete me, you know? Well, and I think that's where that kind of what I'm saying, where I don't have to be in complete balance. I should be working towards that balance you're talking about. But like, I'm not 100% with this, that these masculine and this is feminine. Like you're putting things in a box, and we just spent like a whole episode talking about not putting things in a box.
I wasn't in the episode, so I don't know about not being in the box.
Yeah. Well, we just talked about
words are indicators, right? Words are indicators, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you're saying you don't think, but this is the society we're in, way. Like if you're not acknowledging that what we're doing is not working, then that's your life way, and I respect your choices way. But this is the society. Your perspective that I don't think this is wrong. That's the society that we're in, way. Like. You feel like you missed out on something when you give who you are to the other person, because that other person completes that balance that you need. It happens in relationships all the time, where the woman is more submissive. They hold that against the man with years, and vice versa. When the woman is more alpha and the male is more kind of like on the sidelines because the relationship is balanced. Historically, way you hold that against your partner, and that's why relationships fucking fail, way, because you give who you are to the other person, and you're not balanced yourself. Where I mean, obviously, I don't expect you to agree with me. Where you're entitled to your own fucking perspective, where, and that's 100% valid. But if you really look at it, where I mean, it's just hard to neglect that there's not something that needs to change. Where
no, but like even that example you gave of that relationship already started bad. That wasn't a relationship where you're complimenting each other. That was a relationship where you had that classic male, or not male, I guess, like a classic machista, and that classic woman abajo de él or behind him.
Hold that thought, way, because that machista, when your example is missing the balance of the feminine, to be empathy over his wife.
I'm saying your example that you gave, like from the start of that example, that relationship was doomed to fail. You're not complimenting. There, you're talking about the like that old school, like we said, that you complete me, and like this guy's extreme here and this girl's extreme here, and then he's suppressing her and all kinds of things. That's not the same thing I was saying. Like obviously that relationship is doomed to fail from the start.
Just do it around, way, because the women's are also can control.
Yeah, it works both ways, and
so
those are doomed to fail.
Okay, and that's the majority of relationships.
Yes,
and that.
Yes.
Okay, so what are we arguing?
I'm arguing that
it's the same.
I was arguing. That's what I'm saying. So then you weren't like, I don't know, wait, because like I said, I agree with most of what you said of that of all that. I'm not 100% in, way, because I don't think like
let me put it on paper, way. The woman's the alpha, she's the boss, where she has her shit, she's aggressive.
Yeah.
The male's submissive. How do you change that relationship, way? What do you think needs to happen?
That relationship's already fucked.
It can. There's hope, way. There's hope.
Oh, there's hope, but that relationship's fucked.
Okay, that's not what I'm asking. How would you change that? I'm giving you the blueprint of what's happening, way. How do you change that? If
they both need to get out of the relationship. Out of that relationship.
I don't agree with that, way.
Well, how do you change it?
Because you're telling me that everybody changes. So why get out of that
but
relationship?
Because you get comfortable. Because in that relationship, you've already established that this person's like this person's like this. And you get into like what we were talking about before, that Stockholm or like that comfort where that becomes your norm. And if you're in that relationship, the chances of you changing in a manner that's going to correct that relationship is not going to work. You have to come apart again and like we said, like kind of figure your shit out and then see if that person kind of, I guess, is meeting you in the middle, and then maybe see if that works now. But like in that relationship, I don't think it's going to fix. It's not going to.
But your suggestion is to get out. Okay, fine, get out. The problem with that, Fernie, is that alpha female is going to go into the next relationship the same, and the guy that's submissive is going to go into the next relationship the same. So nothing changes.
So they didn't learn anything. Yeah.
But then the change starts when there's a want for change. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, Noelia, but people want change, but they don't want change because they don't do anything for change.
No, because they're comfortable. Because a lot of people, okay, in this situation, the alpha female and then the submissive male.
Yeah.
And you ask, how does that, they can change. It can get better. They can be equals. But for them to be equals, there has to be an acknowledgement that they're not equals, that they're not balanced.
Okay, yes,
you know?
yes, of course, Noelia. But my argument, the only thing that I'm saying is if and let's just stick to that relationship, alpha female, submissive male, it's not working. There's if I was in that relationship and I thought I need this to change, what do we need to do? And the woman has to have more feminine traits. She has to be more empathetic, more understanding of what the male fucking needs. And if the male's already there because he's more under her, he needs to be more masculine to balance it out. He needs to be more.
But eso digo, I agree with that. But how does the change start when one of them acknowledges like we're not at the same level? Entonces ahí es cuando cambia, but it has to be accountability. It has to be accountability in the person that wants to change it. That's how I can say. But my question is, so I know what I'm saying is like
I don't even know why we're like. I mean, we're basically all agreeing to the same thing.
But my thing is like you asked him like, yeah, how can they change? Well, that's how they change, when people just take accountability. And some people stay in stagnant situations like that, Stan, because they're comfortable.
But Noelia, it's they don't work on themselves. They immediately get into another relationship without the in between work that you need to fucking fix your shit.
Yeah, I agree.
You get into the same relationship, and so that woman is all guys are fucking lazy and they're fucking piece of shit. The guy's gonna take the women are fucking bossy and they always bitch about shit. When is it going to change, guys?
When they choose to make different choices.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Okay. It's that imbalance.
Pero por eso digo, your question was that and we were answering it, but the point is like, some people don't want to do that.
Some people, but the ones that have to change.
And want to stay there. And some people don't want to change. Some people want to change, but then it's also learning to be like, it's okay that the female I'm dating has those traits. Let me meet her at that level, and then once I'm at that level, like kind of get her communicate where I want her to be. Or I don't know, maybe I'm saying it wrong, pero las cosas no van a cambiar si no hay comunicación. And a lot of people, they are in relationships but they don't know how to communicate with each other, meaning talk to each other about things that they're not happy about, or talk about things that. And I'm gonna use myself as an example where I've been in relationships where financially I'm the responsible one. And growing up, it was the masculine trait. Taking care of the home and the finances is a masculine trait. Yeah. So in my relationships, I've had that trait of being the one that's like, hey, aren't you trying to meet some goals too? Aren't we supposed to be at the same level of balance? Like we're both contributing the same type of amount of stuff to the relationship and to the home, Pero eso cambió when one of us vocalized it, like, hey, I like that I can take care of myself financially. I like that I can pay my own bills and all this shit. Yes, because I don't need to rely on anybody. But the feminine trait of wanting to be taken care of was there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Things can change when people take ownership. In my situation, like, hey, I know I'm making money and I don't know how you feel about me making more money. But that doesn't mean that I don't need to feel cared and taken care by you. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know how to take that information. In this situation with my significant others who were men, it was hard to bring that up because it's like, I know that as a man, you're taught that the masculine trait you need to have is to be a provider and a caregiver and sustaining a home. And you're not able to do that. And I don't know how to tell you, hey, what the fuck is going on here? I'm not trying to be bossy bitch or anything like that whatsoever. I'm one of those females that I'm like, hey, just because I'm making money, I understand that there's still roles and you're still a person that has your own traits and your own habits and your own way of seeing things. But I need my partner to match and be at the same level as me financially.
100%.
And to be happy with your career.
For sure.
And that's what I'm saying. Those changes happen when someone is owning up like, fuck, I'm not happy with these roles and knowing how to bring it up. And some people won't do it. And they're okay with that, Esteban. They're okay going from one bad relationship to another because that's all they know. And that's all they know how to function in. Some people function in dysfunction.
But they're not really okay because they constantly blame another person for their shit. So they're not okay.
They're not okay.
You see everything, every symptom. They check every box of somebody that's not okay.
Yeah.
And then it's sad that you're going to live your whole life like that because, I mean...
I'm not okay.
For sure.
Who is though?
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's okay.
I think that's kind of not like what I was saying. Where like, so like if I don't, like you say, like you're always working on yourself, and we should always be working on ourselves. Not that we all do, but you're never going to be complete, and you're never going to really be at balance way because you're always working towards that. So if you never get there, does that mean you shouldn't be in a relationship? You shouldn't be.
Well, I think your finish line is different way than my finish line because I think your finish line you assume that there's gonna be confetti and it's gonna look a certain way where it's not way. Even if you have a down day, that there's nothing wrong with that way. Like it's not. Being complete has nothing to do with fucking just smiling all the time and fucking having a shit ton of money in your bank. That's not what the
I'm saying,
finish line is.
Will you be complete?
I feel complete in that way. Because I have awareness. That's making me complete. Is because I have awareness. If I'm feeling a certain way, I know that I need to get more of these traits in. If I'm feeling like a piece of shit fucking capitalist with a shit ton of money in my fucking bank account, that's a masculine trait. If I want to be happy, I need to donate way. I need to provide. I need to have more feminine traits to balance me out. That's what's going to make me happy for the moment. It might not be that this is me for the rest of my life, but I know if I don't want to feel like a piece of shit, all I have to do is help somebody else and not think about myself, which is a feminine trait. And
the carelessness, the nurturing, yeah.
But I don't like that. The feminine traits have been labeled weak, and both genders,
cultural, no?
but both genders subscribe to it.
Pinche vieja está muy machota, Yeah. When females exhibit these masculine traits or these masculine energy or whatever it is, that's judged the same way as a male who's showing vulnerability. Because vulnerability is a feminine trait, they're judged. So a lot of it is, we all have feminine and masculine traits, but our culture and our families, our parents have raised us that you just stick to one because that's the one that you're.
And it's not that guys, or me personally, I shouldn't talk about men, but it's not that I'm like fucking, I feel threatened by a successful woman. No, it's just she's missing feminine traits that I need. I don't need her to be a fucking masculine woman that has fucking money and is boss and she's a boss bitch. And I don't need that. I need you to balance your shit out and be nurturing and have that also. I don't need you to hold my fucking hand.
But that's where I do agree with them because we do have a male-driven society, which I guess is masculine.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, masculine. Yeah. And those women have, like, the women that are like CEOs, pues, obviously we don't know them personally, but they do have to, I guess, like toughen up, pues, and be that like I don't take shit type of woman, pues, or go towards that masculine, like turn into that guy CEO.
But as they should, because it's a rough ladder.
But not as they should. It's because they have to. Because you're saying that's the way.
It's the same thing. Way they have to.
Well, no, should and have to are not the same. Porque like if our society, because there's other countries, for example, that have had multiple women president, pues, and they're like, in other words, they're comfortable with that. Here, we're still not comfortable. People are still mad that Kamala Harris, que like I've said a million times, no me pasa, pero they're still mad that she's vice president because she's a woman. They still have feelings about that way. Mm-hmm.
Well, she doesn't have feminine traits, right? She doesn't.
Well, because
she's
the
missing
world is structured, like you said, in a masculine
100%,
way,
and that's where this started.
And they have to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where I agree with you.
Yeah.
They have to turn into something, pues, that maybe they're not, or they have to adapt, pues, to something that they shouldn't have to adapt. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference between should and like you have to, like they have to, because if they don't, they can't get to those levels.
Yeah, just understand that you're not going to be happy as a CEO if you're missing that balance. A guy that's a CEO, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, he's as much as a douchebag as a female CEO because you're living in a masculine world way. They're out of touch with the feminine empathy, all that stuff.
Well, they're
certain people are. Certain people are. They're philanthropists and they label themselves that. But you got to understand that that's because there's an imbalance way. And that's what I'm seeing is the fucking fucked up part of the society is that we made it a masculine driven society where we're missing a lot of the feminine traits that make this place a nicer place to be around.
And also too, we in a society where the masculine traits, it's okay to highlight those, but not the feminine ones. You know.
Yes. I
For
agree with that
example,
too.
the female CEO. Okay, I'm gonna not a female. Yo, sí tengo trabajo. You know, I'm not a boss. I've been a supervisor before, whatever. Pero, sí,
Humble brag.
I've got it in my gold watch, Lisa.
Humble brag right away.
In those situations and in the setting that I was in my supervisor role, yes, taking the leadership role, taking initiative, and boom, 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 haciendo las cosas that are considered masculine energy or masculine trait.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to be nurturing in those settings because it's like nurturing in a fucking professional setting. What? Mm-hmm. We don't need anybody that's nurturing. We need action. We need leadership, blah, 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 which is seen as a masculine trait. But when my professional hat comes off and I'm in my home, in my safe space, that's when the nurturing comes. That's when the softness, the vulnerability, the femininity comes out.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my safe space.
Yeah.
So in my home and in my safe space, the roles, you know, in public, if I'm not at work, it's different, you know. You'll see, like, when I was in my relationship, like, yeah, I'm bossy here, I'm bossy there, and sometimes in my own apartment, like, hey, blah, 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 blah. But then, como dije, the urge to feel cared for and taken care of and nurtured, you know, and being soft was in a private setting.
But you were also, like you say, you dated people that weren't making money, or so that was your nurturing side, is to bring somebody up.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Y por eso digo que en esas situaciones, it's like situations can be doomed when the other person is not in accord with you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's workable. Relationships can be successful when there's that, like, hey, that vulnerability to be able to say how you feel.
Yeah.
Like, hey, babe, you know, like, I feel bad because, you know, as a dude, I feel like I should be making more and I should be doing that and I should be doing that. My stance is like, hey, relax. I just need you to make sure that, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you're bringing in $10 less than me, that's fine. Just don't do stupid shit, you know?
The thing from like a male perspective that I can comment on in relationships is that males don't like to be vulnerable to their females or the persons that they're, I shouldn't say that sounded pretty bad. The males with the relationship that they're in with other females, they don't want to let them know that they're struggling or that they don't have this together, because they feel like society, if I tell this woman that I don't have this and I can't do this, she's going to look at me as I'm weak. And so that creates, that's just a toxic relationship as it is, because there's no communication where, like, goes back to like you saying that you thought you were going to disappoint your mom. Your mom's like, wait, go. Men would be surprised if they were just vulnerable and open to the women that they're with, how they would be accepting and actually fucking help you build your shit back up. Mm-hmm. But you're not gonna. There's a chance that you don't have that because you have that machismo. Fucking, I can't do this. I got this shit, and you do that for so long, but it's not a sustainable relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, pero también es que también uno te pones a pensar, like, that idea of why men have to make more money is still ingrained in us now. If you go on these fucking Instagrams and the TikToks and all this, like, oh, yo me ensucio las manos para que las manos de ella se vean así.
Yeah.
Where it's like this man working really hard to bring the money just so his wife can look good and all this and all that. Okay, whatever. But that's the idea that a lot of kids grow up with. A lot of female girls, a lot of female children, girls, that it's like, oh, the guy is supposed to bring the money and
take care of me
and blah, 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 blah. So it's still ingrained in us, you know. Y por eso it goes back to that whole idea of like, why are women in their mid-40s or mid-age women depressed? Because you grow up with certain ideas and now you're trying to change, you know. Y por ejemplo, lo veo que that idea once again of like men have to be the ones that sustain a home or make more money. You see it everywhere, you know. Oh, me compró mi bling bling. Oh, my boo me compró mi coach. Oh, my boo this, my boo that. Yeah, but you know, you should maybe show that your boo's working like 20 hours and shit, busting his ass, because that's what he believes he needs to do, because that's what he's been taught.
Damn, le va bien 20 hours?
No, working 20 hours. Shit.
Overtime.
Overtime. Oh,
Which
I
is
thought
like,
he did part-time he was doing all this way. I'm like, fuck, bro.
Pero es a cada pareja, you know. That's why there's going to be people that have high alpha status, have a alpha attitude, energy, or whatever, that they're going to be okay being with someone that's not at their level because they want that sense of entitlement and maybe arrogance or control.
But it's not sustainable. It's not.
No,
it's not lunch. It's and then that's where we're at. Like, what do you want? Like, do you want to change or do you want to just keep bouncing?
Some people would rather stay in miserable relationships and jump from one to the other than to be alone and work on their shit.
But then don't say that my men are this way. Don't say that women are this way, because it's not. You know what I've been through with women.
Yeah.
So there's things that I could say that sound like a douchebag, but that are really like, wow, that was kind of fucked up. Like, should I feel like that? Or wait, is this? Because if it was a woman and this happened to her, so there's a lot of that. What am I going to say that women are that way because of the?
Yeah.
No, that's
the same with men, thinking that all women are this, all women are you just use me for this, you like, bitch, shut up.
So that's what I'm saying. Don't jump from a shitty relationship to another shitty relationship to another shitty relationship and blame the other sex for it. Like, come on, dude. It's just.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like. You're the one that keeps jumping from relationships.
The funny thing is that this is exactly the type of conversation I knew I was going to get myself into when I came back. I miss you guys though.
Oh, well, we missed you too. I know Ramon is probably like, va a estar escuchando este episodio llorando. It should have been me.
Call me soft. Should have be more masculine, eh?
No, Ramon's always been y por eso yo digo, like, dude, this is the chiquillos. Like, I was always like, man, stop being so fucking.
Oh, so you're reinforcing the machismo?
No.
Noelia fucking burned.
No, she saw he was imbalanced with
no, de que era muy he was always way more, and I don't know if that's a feminine trait or energy, to be more trusting and more. Era siempre más like.
Nurturing.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's fine. You know, like
me, I was more always, and still more like.
It's not fine. Look where it got him.
I mean, he's doing well for himself. What do you mean?
He's learning.
He seems like. I mean, we could only talk from.
He's still learning.
That time, but
he's still learning.
We're all learning, but I'm saying that he seems like he's in a decent relationship. He's in a financially, he's okay. So he's got a little bad luck that was going on, you know. Like,
I mean, we all have stuff where we.
I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. From the outside.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
I'm not referring
There's stuff there where there's stuff there.
To his the I'm not talking about the aesthetic of him having a good job or just him as a person. That que, you know, yo siempre is like now even like Ramon, it's okay, you know, like. Going back to the whole, like, are we the problem? Are we the bad friends? I'm like, well, if we are, we are. But, you know, at least we're taking accountability that maybe we are the bad friends, you know? But my thing with my brother's always been like, you know, it's okay if people moved on and you know, they don't give you an explanation. Sometimes you just have to accept an apology that they're never going to give you. You're not a bad person, you know? Porque mi hermano, you know, being the oldest one, I don't know what his experience was like being the oldest brother. I don't know what pressures he had growing up feeling like, oh, I'm the older brother. I don't know that. Pero as his sisters, I was always like, I've been overprotected because he's a softer person than me, you know?
For sure.
Yo sí soy soft. I'm very nurturing. I'm very empathetic. I'm very patient with people. It just... the exterior comes off differently, you know, and I'm okay with that. For a long time, una vez tuve esa plática con mi brother, I'm like, dude, like, I remember in my teens or like even early in the dating world, like, oh, you're very intimidating. And that, I took it as a bad thing. So much so that it was like, fuck, I am intimidating. So I would make myself like, not like shelter myself, but more like, oh, it affected my self-esteem and my security, you know? Now I'm like, bitch, oh, you're intimidating. Bitch, you got problems. Get out of here. I'm not intimidating. If you think I'm intimidating, that's because you're not used to someone just being being themselves with you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the type of person that goes out trying to ruin people's lives or trying to cause drama. No, it's just that at the rate where I'm at, the situations we've all experienced as adults, the situation you've just been through, it just puts things in perspective. Like, you know, I don't have time for this shit.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I don't have time for people that are my age to keep wallowing in their bullshit when I'm trying to grow out and learn how to practice new coping skills to manage my anger, to manage my fucking madness, to manage all these things, you know. And I was talking to a coworker the other day. I'm like, dude, like, it's hard to go through breakups because then, at least for me, because it's like I'm taking accountability of my traits that I brought into the situation, you know. Pero I told my coworker, I'm like, I'm now realizing that the reason why I keep attracting these fucking angry men is because I'm angry myself.
Yeah,
I've been
someone's
attracting
growing, bro.
that, and I never realized why do I keep attracting the same type of person? And it wasn't until recently that I took a step back and I'm like, bitch, that's because you angry yourself.
I mean, you just did something that most people will never do. It was like you're on that path. Like you have awareness of where the problem is.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't get to that point because,
Yeah.
like you said, it's hard.
It's very hard.
It's easier to blame another person or society for your shit.
Yeah.
But when you come to the realizations that you have, that I've come as well.
Yeah.
It's like it's not only is it hard, but it's fucking lonely.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wait, am I the bad one here? Like,
Right.
Like,
yes, that. Like, am I the problem?
am I overthinking this? 'Cause-
Am I? And it's that, you know, y por eso, like, por eso te digo, last year, you know, it was a lot of, still in these, I was in a relationship for 5 years, 5 or something. Y dicen, it takes half of the time to get over it. And I'm like, de primero, I was like, bullshit, I'm going to hoe it up
done.
and get over this shit. You know? But
I'm gonna go learn to drive a car.
Fucking, I'm ready.
I'm gonna go learn to drive a car. She said.
She's ready. Fuck it. A ver. ¿Qué vamos a hacer hoy?
That's why her downstairs neighbor, bro.
Yeah, but then it's like, no, it's taken a lot and it's hard. That's why I'm saying no. When people are saying, I want to change, like, a lot of times it's very surface that the things that they want to change, like, I want to have a better outlook at life. I want to wake up with my hot tea and yes, life. Okay, but then when the cameras are off and you're alone, like, what are you really working on? You know?
Yeah, that's when you're the person. You know.
Y yo por eso, in the last few months, since December, I'm like, nope, I haven't had people over at my place. Not because I don't like people, but it's just like, no, I'm right now, it's just that I'm doing a lot of like reflecting and to admit, like, fuck, like I'm the problem. I'm the one that's projecting, like, yeah, I'm happy-go-lucky, like, ay, que la chingada, calzón quitado, y dale, tío, dale. Fine, for sure. But the nitty-gritty is that I do have a lot of anger. And now I'm like, okay, I'm attracting the same type of people because that's what I'm projecting. Yeah, I'm also happy. Eso es lo que los atrae. My attitude, my character, my personality. But then once you start naming the person, like, damn, that motherfucker is angry. Now I own it.
Yeah.
I'm putting that energy out there. There's something out there. Anger is attracting anger. Joy attracts joy. But now I'm just like, what's the root of this anger? And that's not where I'm at. That is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
What is the root of this anger? I cannot blame it on my parents anymore. I cannot blame it on the fact that I have a little sibling who's special needs and I felt like our life was disrupted and our life was not fair. It's beyond that. It's beyond that. And that's the work that I'm trying to do. And that's why I say it's hard. It's fucking hard.
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited too, but I'm also scared because that's why a lot of times people be like, hey, yeah, let's do mushrooms and let's do this. I'm like, no. Like, no, as long as you're in a good mood. No, mood is one thing, but I don't know how that'll affect me, that it'll just bring out this ugliness. Because anger, as much as like, it's okay to feel angry, but when it becomes the root of everything you probably do, it's not good and it's not healthy. And that's why right now I'm like, I miss having a boyfriend because you miss the camaraderie and the friendship that you establish with that person, for
comfort.
sure.
Yeah, it's comfort.
The comfort, the safety. But now, like you said, I'm really trying to, and it's not like the whole, I'm trying to grow. No, it's like, okay, I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to feel, I just want to be unbothered. You know, when I go to my parents, sometimes I leave so drained because it's like hearing them and it's like,
God, yeah.
right? Okay, right?
Jesus.
But now I'm just like, just be unbothered. Just let them vent, whatever it is, because whatever. Pero esto, it's hard. It's hard when you're like, fuck, like,
I think
I'm the problem because I know there's something going on in me that keeps attracting this same energy with significant others and energies with friends. And that's why I'm in that space too, Stan, where it's like, yeah.
Sas.
Yeah.
Ya no tengo tiempo de que la gente me falte el respeto when I've been nothing but kind and compassionate and open with my home and my energy and my friendship. You know, I don't have time for it. And like you said, going through these things, it becomes lonely.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because nobody understands you. Like, most of the shit that goes into my head, nobody else is going to understand what the fuck I'm saying. And so it feels like you isolate yourself.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I isolate myself, because I don't want to talk about that stuff. I want to figure this out. And it's very isolating. You talk to yourself a lot, but it's important work to have. And I know you're a strong woman, and I feel like this relationship, I'm sure you went through a lot of shit with the breakup, but to be honest with you, as your friend, I think you would have moved on to this really quick, but this is different because now you're looking inward. So it's not, I don't feel like it's really the relationship that's really making you feel the way you are. I feel like it's just because you decided to do the work now after this relationship. Because if you didn't do the work after the relationship, you probably moved on already.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
But then it's like 20. But then it's in 20 years. Que no, you're still in the
same boat.
The same relationship.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Por eso getting
I'm
to
proud of you as a friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Getting to that. Thank you so much.
Well, I know it's hard, dude.
It is. Porque por eso digo, it goes back to the whole what we've been taught, what I've been told my whole life about where. Oh, this is who you should have been, or this is who you should have become. Yes, qué bueno que te graduaste, mija, de la universidad, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm sure it was a hope of like settling down, having kids, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that never attracted me.
No.
Relationships, yeah, like, oh, yes, a significant other for sure.
Yeah, un pinche palo aquí, here and there, no hace daño.
No, órale, pues, un tío aquí, otro
Dos a la
acá.
vez, no hace daño.
Un pinche palo once in a while.
Una vez al año no hace daño.
It's okay,
you know?
it's okay, un pinche palote.
Me voy a las cariñosas.
In between the spiritual path, un pinche palote
You
after
know,
a drunk night. No hace mal.
Un Jesus Christ, you know, no le... No, Jesus.
Ah, me eché un pinche palote.
Yeah,
pero
it goes back to that, like, just learning to be okay with the decisions that you've made. Me learning to be like, you know, people are going to say shit all the time. Ay, mija, se te fue el tren. All right, but there's another one coming.
Yeah. No.
You know, all those little things that, you know, it does bother me sometimes. It's like, shut the fuck, like, be quiet, lady. You got way bigger issues than me. Ay, mija, como dices tú, ay, pobrecito. Pobrecita, why? Pobrecito usted. You've been married to the same dude for 55 years. He treats you the same way. You're unhappy, and now you're just projecting it. I don't feel bad for me.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just a lot of retraining and reconditioning ourselves, you know?
That's a good word, yeah.
And reminding ourselves that it's not bad. It's not a bad thing to just want to do things differently than what you were used to, you know? Doesn't say that our parents are terrible people. It's just when we know better, we do better. And that's what we're trying to do.
I think culturally, too, as a society, maybe even the whole world, what's happening is that we're starting to figure out that it's not working. Like whatever it is that we were in, whatever structure we had, whatever society we created, it's not working, guys. Let's fucking this. I feel like
it ever though?
Never. I mean, I can't say never because I wasn't alive fucking thousands of years ago, but definitely a society and a culture based on greed itself. I mean, it's not good.
No.
But we have our own little worlds that we can make out of this fucked up world, and that's really the important part, is that maybe we can't change the world. I get that. I'll accept that. But I can change the world around me. Mm-hmm. I can change the people that I want to associate around me, which makes it a more pleasant world to be a part of. But I don't know. I just don't think that it's ever going to be that perfect thing that we want.
Y sabes qué? Like, and it's not to be like all godly or whatnot. No, whatever. Pero in the whole everything.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah,
Primero dejó y luego acá de
Jesus
Santa.
has nothing to do with this
I
conversation.
know.
We're just
Primero
talking
acá
about
de
palos, now she's
palos
talking about
de Jesus. Ahora
Speaking
de
of
la
Palo
cruz.
Santo,
Let's talk about another palo.
another
Pero,
different kind of palo.
You know, como he dicho, we grew up Catholic and everything. I'm not a practicing Catholic. I still believe in a lot of stuff. Pero in this process of taking accountability and just be like, all right, we got to get our hands dirty, meaning like deal with all this shit. One of the things that has helped me is the serenity prayer.
Really?
Yeah, and that serenity prayer se dice mucho. They recited a lot every day, every time in the AA meetings and the NA meetings. You know, dice, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and then the wisdom to know the difference between the things that I can and cannot change, the things that I can and cannot control. And it's a prayer every time I find myself in. Every day I'm just reciting it when I feel angry. When I'm dealing with my triggers, I'll start saying that because it's just a reminder there's certain things I cannot control, like people's attitudes and people's beliefs. But what I can control is my attitude and the way I respond. And that's another thing I'm working on, not being so reactive, not being so impulsive when someone says some dumb shit and be like, what the fuck did you say? Shut the fuck. Just be like,
y te lo comes, yeah.
Yeah. Swallowing it and just shitting it out later.
Yeah.
Because for my own health, because eso también de con la edad me estoy dando cuenta. Now that I'm getting older, I'm understanding and realizing that my emotions are going to physically affect me. If I get mad, I'm going to get diarrhea or the vomits.
I was going to say, you buy less Tums now?
No, the Tums are still there. But, you know, our emotions, our reactions, like how we feel will affect our body, our system.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
So if I get into an argument or I get pissed off and I start, me voy a enojar, and it's just going to be like, oh. So I'm just like, God,
it's
life, Buddha, just, there's things I can control, there's things I cannot. If somebody cuts me off in traffic, they probably got to go take a shit. They're probably running late to the hospital to see their mother dying. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
There's
a good place to be.
Yeah. There's people that are driving mad and just fucking crazy. And now, too, it's just like, if I cut somebody off, they might pull a gun out on me. It's that crazy. Gone are the days when you could flip the bird and be like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
No, people are pretty bold now.
Yeah, people are not. It's just a little too much. So I remind myself there's things I could control. There are things I cannot. And, you know, pick and choose what you want to fight and what you don't. And pick and choose very wisely who you have in your social circle, in your tribe. Because, you know, people that you think are going to be supportive because you've been supporting them are going to be the same people that might be not.
Yeah.
And just being like, you know what? Yeah.
Sas.
Mejor un palo santo.
I think it was last week. I remember there's some comedian I was watching that kind of, this little thing kind of applies. Like you change the words around and it kind of fits in here way. But he was talking about like your body way. Like your body is that cross between your ideal shit and like your effort. So he goes, when you look at like, I have my ideal body I want, but like my body is a representation of the effort that I'm willing to put towards it.
Which is nothing.
So like you change those words. There's something I see, no? So you change those words around. It's like everything, like this thing, like your life or your relationship with, or whatever you fall into, pues, it's a representation of, you have an ideal of this relationship or this partner or this job or whatever. But where you're at is that representation of how much effort you really want to put into it, you know? Like you have that there, but if you're down here is because that's the amount of effort you wanted to put in.
Yeah. Sure. It's like, the only perfect simple example is like when people are like, oh, I want to lose weight to fit into size this pants. Yeah, that's the goal, but what's the effort you're putting into it?
Yeah.
You're still eating like 20 tacos a night, you know. Oh, I want to decrease my heartburn. What's the effort you're putting into that, Noelia? Are you like fucking...
Yeah, like do you really...
You know, it makes sense.
Like you still have all those bottles of Tums, so how much effort? Let's talk about
you know? No, I have my bag still of Tums. We were talking about age and Tums, and I'm like, no, I can't eat the same things anymore. Mm-hmm. A las 8 ya no puedo comer pizza.
Yeah, fuck.
La pizza loca.
La pizza loca y la Pepsi, no, because then like at 9, 10, I'm like...
Yeah, I don't do that.
You know?
También,
I'm drinking teas. You know? El coffee también, I'm like, it keeps me caffeinated, but then it gives me anxiety. So, you know, it's all just checking ourselves, tuning ourselves, you know, and just being okay with making decisions that are for your progress. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Put some effort, raza.
Yeah.
Échale ganas, cabrones.
I know, güey.
Welcome back, Esteban.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I mean, se extrañaba esa camaraderie of like, oh shit, shit.
I'm sure you guys needed a break.
It's because
too.
you know what, like in the last few times that I've sat in, which I really have enjoyed and I really always don't mind. It's you guys, you know, you guys are my brothers too. Y pero ha sido puro. I feel like it's just been a whole fucking desmadre con fucking clowning on Ramon, of course.
That's what people like, though.
Of course, clowning on my bro, you know. Pero no se pasen de verga, you know. Nomás nosotros nos pasamos con él, you know.
That's still a thing.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Pero, you know, it's just been clowning and just pura pendejada y media, you know?
Yeah.
And now, you know, that essence of like, you know, let's bring it back to something a little more serious, you know?
People like the messing around, though.
No,
I think sometimes people get turned off by the serious conversations.
Pero por eso digo, it's the balance.
It's a balance,
back.
yeah.
The balance is back. And as much as I was like, you know, gente like, ya le quitaste el trabajo. No, he's on sabbatical. He's on
sabbatical.
Hey, he's on a little break right now con el pinche Homes Depots.
I don't know if his back feels like he's on sabbatical.
Dude, I'm fucking hurry right now, bro.
Las groupies, you know, acá lastimándolos.
No
nah,
breaks.
it's been kind of rough, but
Yeah, pero no, I mean, I think everybody just
Wrap it up, Noelia.
wanted you back.
yeah.
So thank you for being back. And that
You're
you're
welcome.
healthy.
Gracias.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are really. I mean, you guys are my friends. Like, you know, I feel like in life, people they have a certain people that is their friends for life, and you guys are definitely my circle of people that know everything pretty much. I mean, there's things that I don't tell anybody, but you guys have been there like since the beginning, you know. And so I really do appreciate the circle, and it's evolved, right? It got rid of a lot of the fucking dirt. Like, right? Like the circle. Like it's like you're saying, the older we get, the more kind of wise we feel. But also your friend circle, kind of all the fucking toxic shit starts fucking getting off ship throughout the process. And then we're left with like, oh yeah, these are my people.
And not feeling bad to have to weed out some stuff.
Nah, you got to get rid of fucking...
Dead weight.
Some of those cagapalos que
ver,
nomás quieren comer gratis y no cooperan con el pinche gas y está bien caro. Váyanse, cabrones.
A ver, Fernie, finish us up with your wise words.
Wow,
Put the cherry on top of this episode.
I don't know
bro.
if I thought my wise words were that body joke I heard. The fucking
That's a good one.
that little guy. I can't remember a comedian's name. My bad.
Yeah.
Pero
Yeah.
Well, Ramon will be next.
he's a young guy too. So
Yeah, it's pretty wise, way.
Pues Ramon en este tiempo, he starts talking about y'all business on the side.
oh, el pinche cafecito.
Yeah.
There's cafecito. There's the Patreon. I think we talked about hopefully the lives come back next week si se puede.
Yeah, yeah.
Como
yeah.
dice, si Dios graces with the
Yeah.
with that
he'll
effort.
Be back. Yeah.
he'll be back.
He'll be back.
He's always watching. What do you mean?
No, Ramon.
Oh, I
Ramon
thought you
will
were
be
talking
back.
about Jesus.
No, it's like fucking
Ramon.
JC, bro.
The other holy God that we have.
Oh, so hopefully Ramon graces with his presence.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then
Hopefully-
we can have a live. Because Noelia doesn't like to be live, eh?
No, I don't know what you guys do. Last time I'm like, hey, are you guys going to be filming? No, I'm like, all right, paríme toda chancluda. Like, estaba pinche.
Oh, shit.
No me tengo que bañar,
Con la
pues.
Me tengo que
pinche
bañar. hay que-
Con la pinche uña morada ahí al 100, making an appearance on YouTube.
Yeah, so hopefully next week the live's back. We'll see,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yay.
So,
Appreciate the fuck out of you guys, man.
yeah.
Oh,
So ahí
for
tenemos
sure.
el Patreon, tenemos el cafecito, and I'm glad to have the crew back together. Except
For
I
sure,
guess,
man.
I guess Ramon's not here.
No, you'll be back, guys. Va a estar llorando ahorita. Like,
But we have a Ballesteros that rambles también, so it's good.
Yeah, no, yeah, she's sometimes she's my
Ay, te la
favorite,
agarraron.
but I don't want to say it on air, and I think I just did.
Ay, wait, what? I'm just feeling for Ramon today, that's why.
The Ballesteros, my favorite Ballesteros is here.
Yay!
Yeah, I said it, bro.
He loves you in a different way.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for listening, and hope that we didn't lose a lot of you guys. Or fucking, we probably gained more people. Este güey ya no está aquí. Fucking, yeah.
No, que dijo que last time the Instagram numbers went up or something?
Oh,
That
nice.
dude's always, I don't know, way.
Who, Ramon?
Ramon.
He's fighting hackers right now, güey.
I feel like right now he's laying down and he has a contraption over his head that he could just look at and, you know, con su cell phone.
So you can track the numbers
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
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 But we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yay.
All right,
Thank
pues.
you. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Al ratos votaré.